This podcast is brought to you by JList.com. JList.com is a fantastic source for Japanese snacks, including all kinds of exotic flavors of Pocky. Of course, they have your original Pocky as well, but you want the stuff that you can't get here in America or wherever you are out in the West and the world. They have Glico Pocky milk flavor, almond crush flavor, Tsubu Tsubu, strawberry flavor, Hakuto and Ichigo flavor, Kuromitsu Kinako flavor, and even whiskey-flavored Pocky for those of you that are a little extra adventurous. They also have Topo, which is sort of like a reverse Pocky, baked chocolate flavor, dark chocolate flavor, strawberry and milk, sweet potato and rich cream. So many snacks, and so much more. So head over to JList or jbox.com right now, and you'll be able to browse an endless selection of Japanese snacks to satisfy your cravings. And now, it's time to start the podcast.
来てくれてありがとう. You're listening to the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast. Take your anime addiction to the next level at aaapodcast.com/join. And now, here are your anime addicts.
Welcome, one and all, to episode 513 of the Anime Addicts Anonymous podcast. And should you not do anything, this will be the best podcast you listen to for the next 2 hours.
That's
My
right.
name is Mason, and I'm the host for this evening/afternoon/morning. And I'm here to just mumble a bunch and help make finding shows more difficult when I mess up saying their names. And you might say, oh, someone who mutters shouldn't be hosting. And to that I say, wisdom teeth. Anyway, to make this podcast more digestible, I've got two hosts with me. The articulate and eloquent Mandi. How goes it?
I don't know about that, but thank you. Hey, guys.
And we have the cogent and occasional comprehensible Mitsugi, who's back from Mexico. How's it going?
I don't know what half of those words meant, but I'm holding a new flavor of Monster called Ultra Rosé, which I've already drank all of it. Wait a second.
And
Yes,
what's the review?
yes, it's
what's
gone.
the review?
It is
Monster Ultra Rosé with a diacritic acute over the A.
Yeah. Is that what that's called? It is a
It
flavor of which I cannot describe. I don't know what it tastes like. But I'm out of that, and you'll be proud of me, Mason, because here before you, I have a 40-ounce bottle that I take hiking, and it is full of 150% pure H2O.
Are you joining the Hydro Homies gang? The Water Boy squad?
The Water Boy Squad.
It's been a tough weekend, guys. I'm a little dehydrated.
You know, you got to do what you got to do. Guys, thank you all for coming in, listening to us. You can find us on the aaapodcast.com, where if you just want to hear more of us, you can listen to our hentai episodes or hobby addicts that we just recorded, where we talked about a whole lot of video games. Mitz talked about his tequila-infused piano escapades in Mexico, all sorts of adventures. And we also got after parties that we record on occasion. So you can find that all on our website. In addition, you can find all our social media on Facebook and Twitter. You can watch us live on Twitch, where people come and hang out. I don't know, all sorts of things. We also have a Discord, which is free to join and full of just all sorts of discussion. I mean, it's not just anime. We've got games, we've got memes, we got food, we got workout stuff, we got music, we have all sorts of things, and it's a good place to interact with us and your fellow addicts. But we also have some special clubs over there that we have weekly meetings for. Mandi.
Yeah, so
What do we do?
Anime Club is one of these. And the next one, we are doing one of my favorites, Mononoke, which is not Princess Mononoke. It is Mononoke from the Samurai Horror Stories sort of series, and like the spin-off of it. And it's so good. It's one of, like, in my top favorites, it's probably number 3.
Ooh, wow.
Wow.
Love this series quite a
It
bit.
is good. This
Yes.
And you had the merch. You showed off one of the figures of it, and it was
Yes.
beautiful, just like the show. I love the show as well, so I'm hyped for this one.
Yeah, the figure that I have is of Kusuriyori, who is like sitting on like a sliding screen. I showed it off. I showed off pictures of it, and someone commented it recently on Twitter, so it came back up, and we've been talking about it. And it's such a gorgeous figure. The series is also it's a great horror series that does not look like it would be a horror series. It's very colorful, very different from anything else that I have seen. It's just, I love it so much.
It doesn't
But
rely on like cheap jump scares like a
No.
lot of stuff does. It's just psychologically
Mhm.
messed up, and it's a
very
beautiful time.
unsettling. Yeah. So the discussion for that will be on March 11th at the usual time in our Discord, 10 p.m. EST. So join up in our Discord and come there. You can also come to my manga club. Our next meeting will be this Wednesday coming up in March 4th. And we'll be talking about the first 2 volumes of Princess Jellyfish, volumes 1 and 2. And you can go to our Discord, find all the chapters that you need to read, and just join our voice chat that we use and talk to us there at 10 p.m. EST, March 4th.
Do we want to make this next announcement yet, Mandy, or hold off on it?
Yeah, you can go ahead. I mean, I spent enough money. It is official now.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Just wanted to announce that Mandy and myself will officially be attending Anime Boston this year, which is Friday, April 10th to the 12th. Neither of us have been there. First time there. We're gonna check it out, see what it's all about. They've got all the voice actors, musical acts, and they have Studio Trigger coming to visit, which are always a fun time. They had a bunch of attendees last year, and have been going for a while. So, yeah, we're gonna go adventure and see what kind of stuff we can get up to. Be a rad time. So we'll probably arrange some sort of meetup or something. But yeah, come hang out with us.
Yeah.
It's only a month away, which is
It's crazy. I've never
guys,
planned for a con this soon.
March comes in like a lion.
Oh.
I can't believe it's March now, guys. I do not believe it.
He went for
My
it.
calendar says 3 at the beginning or at the second digit if you're in Europe, but besides that, it's a good time. Anyway, Mitz, what do we got? What else do we got going
We
on?
do have the results of our retro review poll and the listener choice poll. We didn't find enough anime from the winter 2020 season to fill out all 8 shows, so we picked the retro show. And try as Mandy and I did to ensure that we would have our own choices selected. Mandy wanted to watch Master Keaton. I wanted to watch Gunsmith Cats. In fact, the Big O, aka Anime Batman with like robots, has in fact won the poll with 52% of the vote. Not especially close. I mean, you know, it was
I'm
never.
sorry, Mitz. I picked the series that was like 26 episodes long instead of the nice small ones.
You know,
I'm
I
sorry.
tried. I was like, you know what? Let's take Gunsmith Cats. It's 3 episodes, a lot of fun. But you know what? It's fine. We're all good. And we also have
Listen, Master Keaton is going to win one day. Mandy is going to make it happen.
I put it in every time. It's an Urasawa, guys. Series, guys. Come on. Give me a chance.
we also have the listener choice results. Someone did try to like hack our poll, sort of, but I went in and just removed all their hard work. So nice try. So the results are
Number 3.
Inspector number 3 with 12.9% of the vote. It's AKA the second loser.
Number 2.
Neko Para, the troll vote.
Oh man,
Coming
we just
in at
missed
number
it,
2.
boys.
No, not really. I didn't really get that close. So, Neko Para with 14.5% of the vote. Nice try, trolls. We have like a drop, like a little children. Okay, here we go. There we go. You tried. You know, it's whatever. And then of course,
Number 1.
19.4% of the vote. Didn't really see it coming. Runway de Warate, or what the hell is this?
Smile down the runway or smile on the runway.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised with this. I'm
Yeah.
happy. I'm hyped.
So Smile
too.
Down the Runway has won the listener choice poll, and it will be added to our pass fail document, which, you know what, screw it, I'll just do it right now, and along with the Big O. So congratulations to everybody who voted for that. And now I'm going to show off a little bit. So I noticed someone on Twitter, I can't remember who it was, but thank you very, very much, mentioned that Joe Hisaishi is going to be doing a concert in England in September, which I always said to myself that I would pay thousands of dollars to see Joe Hisaishi either conduct or play the piano in a concert live. And normally he doesn't do this outside of Japan, and not very often at all in general. However, thanks to the person on Twitter, again, thank you very much. He is going to be conducting a concert in England, and I was able to snag. I woke up at 2 a.m. to check something on my phone and realize that I had been involved in a pre-sale for the tickets, and spent an hour during the middle of the night buying these tickets. And I'm told that when the actual sale went out the next day, they were gone within half an hour. So very excited about that. I guess that's kind of like braggadocious, but I will at least be able to talk about the concert when it happens in September. So that's like, and it did not cost that. It did not cost thousands of dollars either. So extra great news. So very excited about that. We'll talk about that in 5 months or whatever. So what are we doing this episode, Mason?
This episode's pretty simple. We have one topic, which is everyone brings their own topic. So we're going to be talking about a mishmash of all sorts of things that we're bringing to the table. And most importantly, which I know you're hyped for, is the review of Dr. Stone.
Ohio Sakai!
Best anime of 2019, question mark?
Yes. Good morning, good morning.
Good morning, world! Yeah,
will find out.
Yeah, I was sitting there with my girlfriend watching that, and it's like, Ohio Sakai, good morning, world. Just, what does Ohio Sakai mean? I'm like, it means good morning, world. Oh, so they're just saying good morning, world, good morning, world? Yep, pretty much. That's what they did.
But sounds cool.
It sounds cool, and that's Japan for you. So they wanted to use the English so bad, they were just like, you know what, F it, we'll just say it twice.
Shino Tenshi in the Twitch chat is saying we need a AAA vlog channel for stuff like this Hisaishi concert. Hisaishi.
Well, I think I will probably get thrown out of the concert if I bring a camera into it.
Sure, but just Mitsugi escapades in London could be a fun time as well.
Will he stalk Joe Hisaishi? Maybe he'll get arrested.
Hide in the piano when it gets sent back to Japan. Just pop out like the worst Christmas ever.
Mitsugi's adventures being a royal guard.
Episode 2 of the vlog. Mitsugi gets deported. So, shall we go? Shall we?
Yeah, I don't think we have anything left. Let's send it.
Oh, 大ニュースです. It's time for big news of the week.
Has anybody besides me seen the Sonic the Hedgehog movie?
Nope.
Oh, goody. Okay, great. So here's my time to just jab the knife in real good and just twist it, because despite prior accounts that Sonic the Hedgehog was dead and no one gave a damn, it is now the most successful video game or anime movie ever made. So that is very shocking. It's actually easily beat Pikachu. So this is like my victory lap from prior drops. And I may have concluded that in one of the news breaks, just, because fuck it. It's a pretty good movie. It's a lot better than I thought. I thought this was going to be like a legendarily terrible film. Literally. I thought it was going to be just a movie where my childhood was dying before my eyes and, tears would roll down my face, but it wasn't because I was happy. It was just because, things would never be the same again. However, it has a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes from fans, and it's shockingly a 64% from critics. It did an opening weekend of 70 million, which is 16 million more than Pikachu did, and 47 million more than Alita did, and those are probably like the most recent successes. And it's done like. It's done 265 million in just 3 weeks, and it's not even out in China or Japan yet, which is probably where a lot of the international money is going to come from. And just great. Like, I don't know, I'm just so happy. And there's going to be a sequel for sure, because if you stay for after the credits, there's some stuff, I won't say what it is, but there's like a 10-second clip during the credits or whatever that pretty much guarantees there's a sequel to this movie coming. And I would honestly, based on like Sonic Forces and Sonic X and all that, I wouldn't be surprised if there's like a whole bunch of these movies if they continue to make a ton of money. Because this movie, so the reason why it's like so much more successful than the others is, in addition to making just more money than the others, is that it costs half as much to make. So like this thing only had an $85 million budget, which is like ridiculous for a movie these days. Like, I don't even, I feel like people pay the director more than that nowadays, but somehow they got away with an $85 million budget, and they're just gonna keep. I hope they make a few of these. So, pretty exciting. It's just like the movie. Jim Carrey did a really good job in the movie. He's a pretty good Dr. Robotnik. They let him kind of cut loose and be just silly Jim Carrey a few times. He's like dancing inside of his like evil. Dr. Robotnik, like science lab lair thing, and he's doing his crazy Jim Carrey dancing and just laughing maniacally and being just super silly. And Sonic looks great in this movie. He looks great. He's fun. He's a little hyperactive. I mean, he's kind of like a...
I would hope so.
Is
Yeah,
he on
he-
speed?
Yeah, he's like an 8-year-old child that has just like downed a whole bag of Pixie Sticks and drank a Coke, basically. Because he's, he'll be like hitting a... Like, there's like a whole 3-minute segment at the beginning of the movie where they're showing how lonely Sonic is because, he doesn't have any friends. And he's like playing ping pong by himself. So he'll like hit the ping pong and go to the other side, hit the ping pong. And he's like zipping back and forth. And he'll be like, oh, and I also have, a wheel that I run in. And he's just like showing you his whole like little house that he built where he has all this fun shit that he has. And he's just talking really fast and being super hyper. But he looks great. And you just want to hug him. And he just looks so fluffy. And like there's a lot of like Easter eggs in the movie that fans of Sonic will really love, and totally just like and like the story was fun. Like and the other actors besides Jim Carrey did a good job as well. Like the other guy, what's his name, James Marsden, I think his name is. He did a really great job in the movie, and I'm gonna look his name up because I don't want to get it wrong. But Ben Schwartz and James Marsden are the main talent for the movie. Ben Schwartz is Sonic, and he did a great job. And James Marsden plays like this police officer who is like the guy who finds Sonic, like right at the beginning of the movie. And Sonic calls him the Donut Lord because it takes place in like Wyoming, and the James Marsden's a cop, and nothing ever happens in this town in like Wyoming where no one lives. And so he'll literally like line up his donuts on the police car and talk to them because he's so lonely. And then, Sonic says he's the Donut Lord because if they misbehave, he eats them. Just like silly shit like that. It's just fun. The movie was good.
I thought that the donuts were going to be like an allegory for like the coins that
The
Sonic
rings?
runs around and collects. Yeah.
So the rings...
That's
So the rings are in the movie, and there's a scene where Sonic gets hit, and the rings kind of explode and fly out of him, and I'm like, oh no! And then but then he's able to grab like one ring, and I'm like, this is just my childhood.
I relate. I've been there.
Yeah, I mean, it was just perfect, and I'm left with the thought like they're gonna make more, and I assume they'll be successful also as long as they continue to be good. But is this an anime movie or not? Because I'm unsure because half the producers and writers are Japanese, and a whole bunch of the animators are Japanese as well, but the director is not, and I don't believe the company is. So I'm not really sure if you can count it as anime or not.
I'm gonna say no on this one, Chief.
I'm just curious. It's fine. It's fine if it isn't. I was just curious because it seems like a lot of the staff is Japanese, and that's kind of at least how I define.
Is Seven Samurai an anime?
Well, no, it's not animated.
Japanese movies aren't anime.
So it was a good movie. If you're a fan of Sonic, I recommend you go watch it. I mean, it's in most theaters. It'll be there for a while. It did get dethroned this last week by one of the horror movies that came out by The Invisible Man. Dethroned it, but it did beat Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford's movie came out the week after this one premiered, and it still beat Harrison Ford, but Call of the Wild is kind of flopping. So yeah, pretty fun stuff. And also, side note, the My Hero Academia movie's in theaters right now as well. But considering I'm not that far into My Hero Academia, I probably won't go see that one. But that's about it for Sonic. I think that if you're a fan of the game and you were afraid of seeing it because you thought it was going to ruin your childhood, like rest assured it won't. You're pretty safe. So.
Actually, I take it back. If Jim Carrey as Robotnik adjusts his glasses for a scene and you get like the lens flare, then I'll call it an anime movie.
Then it's an anime.
But if that doesn't happen, it's not.
Did you see that somebody made those like light up glasses where like they're glasses and when you push them, they light up? And there's so many memes now all over Twitter, and I want those glasses. If someone wants to sell me those glasses, I'll buy them and I'll wear them on the streams. I'll just go
constantly. I mean, I wonder if it's like just you have to close your eyes when you do it, or just burn out your retinas.
I am curious about that, but they're great. I want
my irises to the grave. Nice. Well, let's keep on chugging along.
Yeah, so we have a new segment here. We're going to try it out, and the new segment is it's basically designed to just talk about Japan more. like if you want to go to Japan for tourism, or if you're planning on living in Japan but don't know what you need to do to get there, or if you're just living in Japan already, So we've all been to Japan. We all have experiences and thoughts about it, and so we're gonna start off with a softball here on Japanese restaurants and food chains that you can eat at in Japan, with a little segment that I have arbitrarily sort of and quickly named "Living Big in Japan." So.
日本のいいとこ見てみよう It's time to live big in Japan.
Was that from Hunter x Hunter?
Of course it was. I thought you would enjoy that.
Mandy immediately
I was
gets triggered. She's like, "Oh my goodness, what are we doing?"
I just had that image of Leorio in the center, like,
The slide whistle. It was the slide whistle that gave it away, right?
Yeah. Well, no, all of it.
Yeah.
So good.
So I see this segment as like the prelude, like training ground for like, if we next year do the podcast trip to Japan, like this is getting people, informed on all the stuff to do over there and what we're going to talk about. And I don't know, I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, I also routinely have people messaging me about like, oh, I'm going to Japan in a month. What do I do? Or I'm going to Japan, or I'm in Japan and I'm in this place. What do I do here? Like I'm in Akiba right now. What do I do? And I'm like, okay, well, do this and this and this. So this is kind of inspired by that. And also just because I think everybody has a genuine interest in hearing more about Japan in general. And everybody kind of wants to go to Japan because we're all anime nerds. So starting off with restaurant chains, because Japan has a lot of really good ones. And it's weird sort of, but I kind of feel like I enjoy eating at these chains more than I like eating at, one-off family restaurants or whatever. Starting off with Mr. Donut. Mr. Donut, I think we probably all at least saw Mr. Donut or have been to Mr. Donut, but it's basically not really a spin-off, but I believe it was it is owned or was owned at one point by Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin', yeah. I believe it still is.
It could be, yeah. And I'll effort that here, but they have the same signage and and it just looks like the same on the inside more or less, but they do have some unique items. They have the pon de ringu little donut that basically has like it's like a ring, it's like a donut shape, but it has it's almost like they've fused donut holes together to make a donut shape,
yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. The first time I had Mr. Donut, I was like, well, I got to get their signature thing, this collection of donut holes strung together. And I was like, oh, these are just going to be donut holes stuck together. But no, like their texture and consistency are just so much chewier and more delightful. They're almost mochi-esque.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Incredible. And by the way, it was founded in 1956 by Harry Winokur, and basically it was bought by a company in 1990, and all of the ones in the States became Dunkin' Donuts, but outside of the States, largely, they remain called Mr. Donut, including ones in Japan. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on any one of these, but Mr. Donut is great, and I hope if you go to Japan, you'll definitely see them, and I hope you go and try out their stuff, because there's a lot of unique things that you won't see in the States, and they're worth trying, as Mason described. The pon de ringu is really, really good. Mason, you had written down convenience stores. I want to hear what your take is here.
So I am not a fan of chain restaurants. Like, especially as a tourist, I was like, oh, I want to sample all the stuff. I don't want the basics. I mean, I feel like if you live there day in and day out, you'd find the chains that you are comfortable with, but I was very anti-chain. But I mean, I'm just going to take the cop-out answer and say, like, the convenience stores are chains, and they have pretty damn good food, especially for, like, breakfast when a lot of places are closed. So I'm going to call that a chain restaurant, and all of them, from the 7-Elevens to Lawson's to all of them, they're all solid. And, like, some places have, like, better onigiri, or some have better ice cream. But all in all, if you're, like, struggling for food in Japan, you can't go wrong with just stopping in at one of those.
Speaking of go ahead.
Oh, we had quite a few of those when we went to Japan, like just jumping into convenience stores and buying bentos. I understand bento. Bento makes a lot more sense when you've had one.
It's good stuff. Well, the problem is so many stores just open later in the day. And when we would take Shinkansen, when we'd be traveling and we'd be up early, that's the only option you really have. And luckily they're pretty solid choices.
Speaking of stops, Mini Stop is one of my favorite convenience store chains in Japan, and it's a little harder to find than others, but it is the only place, as a foreigner living in Japan, it was the only place that served anything remotely close to popcorn chicken. There's an item of food there that they have like in a case that's hot called Crunky Chicken. I talked about this before a while ago, but it comes in like a little paper thing with the chicken in it and with a little toothpick, and you literally like toothpick eat these little things of chicken, and they are fried in such a way that they are very crispy and very good and salty, and they are very close to popcorn chicken, and it is delightful. So,
Did Little John baptize those? Crunky Chicken?
Crunky Chicken, that's the name of it.
So is that where your allegiances lie with Mini Stop, you said, Mini Mart?
I'm a little soft on 7-Eleven, to be honest.
Okay.
But when I see a Mini Stop, I will sometimes go in and get the Crunky Chicken. So
there you go.
You and I, Mason, both wrote down a different type of curry. I put Koko Ichiban. We've talked about it a bunch of times, but I'm kind of curious why you put Go-Go curry. What is it about Go-Go curry that tickles you?
Go-Go curry is just so much more viscous. It's thicker and it's more dense, and you get a big old platter, and it doesn't try to be fancy. It just gives you a hearty meal for a reasonable price, and I vastly prefer the Go-Go experience to Koko Ichiban. Koko Ichiban's a lot more, you choose your spice levels, you choose a lot of your accompaniments. It's more of a full thing, whereas Go-Go says you want some curry and just mainlines it into your system. And so if I had to choose between the two, I would prefer Go-Go, which just means 5-5. But
did we have Go-Go in New York? Is that what we had?
We did.
We did.
That was good.
They have it in Boston as well.
Oh yeah, awesome.
Lucky,
Ready.
lucky you guys.
But I have had Koko twice. I think that was one of the first meals we had when we met up, and it's not bad. It's a solid choice. I'll let you wax poetically about it.
Well, I just want to make a note here that people that go to Japan almost always go to Akiba at some point, and there is a Koko Ichiban and a Go-Go curry both in Akiba. So while you're there,
Can't go wrong.
I recommend you try one of these. The next one might be my favorite out of all of them. It's Sukiya, which is a beef bowl shop. It's fantastic. It's cheap. It's unbelievably fast. I mean, you will order your food and it is there within 2 minutes, and you can get like a 3-cheese beef bowl, a kimchi beef bowl. I love the kimchi beef bowl. They've got all kinds of them. They got ones with mushrooms. They have ones with like shaved daikon. They have seasonal beef bowls. They come in all kinds of various sizes. If you're Mason, you can get the mega beef bowl, and and even that won't be enough. And it is just delightful, and they're everywhere. I mean, Sukiya is everywhere, and it's like, oh, it's like this chain, and whatever. It's like you're eating a beef bowl for like $3, but it is truly good. And they have a lot of great side items. You can get like a raw egg to put on your beef bowl. You can get a little block of tofu with some like dashi on it. Whew, it's so good. It's just. I mean, if they had that in the States, I'd go every week. I really would.
First food I consumed in Japan when my flight got in to Osaka airport at like 10 p.m. and I camped out that night in the airport. Don't ask me why I thought that was a good idea, but it was Sukiya coming out of a 17-hour flight, and it was blessed.
I'm sure it was delightful. The only other one here I want to talk about, and then I'll let you finish up because these last two are ones that you wrote down, was Katsuya. And Katsuya is a little like Sukiya in that it's like a chain where you order your food and it comes very quickly. But Katsuya is more of it's a katsu place. So you can get a set of like pork katsu with fried shrimp, and and it comes with all the amenities that you would expect with katsu. Katsuya is tough to find though. I mean, it's probably for every like 10 Sukiyas there's like one Katsuya. But it's a little heavier, but it is definitely delightful to just have like a fantastic plate of rice, and they got the shredded cabbage with the dressing, and they got the katsu that's just perfectly cooked, and no complaints. You can't complain. It's too damn good. It's not expensive. It's always there when you need it in a pinch.
Was that the place inside the mall that we went to?
No, but it's a similar idea. It's just the one in the mall was like 4 times as expensive and a little obviously better because it's
It was good though.
Yeah. Oh god, Katsu is just fantastic. Now I've never heard of Uobe or Tenya, so I want to hear about these last two, Mason.
Gotcha. I'll go quick. We should have put a content warning that said like, oh, for the next 4 minutes, we're just going to talk about food nonstop.
Eat first.
I'm so hungry now.
Yeah. So Genki Sushi or Uebi Sushi is a chain of conveyor belt sushi places. Most notably known for the big one they have in Shibuya, where they have the big scramble crossing. That's the one I went to, and it was just the best conveyor belt sushi I've had, and there's a whole bunch of them. It's great because they have one track of cars where you can just pick it up and go, and you have like iPad touchscreens where you can order specific ones if you want. Those come on like a third rail that just zip and stop at your thing, and it's a whole bunch of fun. And we had a blast eating there. It's just rows and rows of columns of people just sitting and dining, and only put 1 scoop of the green tea mix into your cup and then put the hot water in. Don't be like, oh, I don't know how many to put in. Drops in like 6 and then reads the instructions that say use 1 only.
That'd be so strong.
That was potent.
Mason.
You made a mistake. You learned from it.
Mason, the boy who doesn't drink anything but water, tasked with the green tea, has it in the most concentrated form on
That's
earth.
like a children's book. Mason makes green tea for the first time.
Mason does an oops. That's the story of my life.
Oops. That's one thing I missed out on when we went to Japan. I really wanted to do the conveyor.
Screwing up things?
No, the conveyor belt sushi. I didn't get to see one, or get to go to one, and I wish I had.
They're a novel experience, and they're not too bad. You know, it's not like the best sushi, but it's solid enough. And then the last one is just really quick. Tenya, it's a tempura place.
Oh god,
I think a couple people on the trip went there like for the last meal. It's just, you know, your basic perfect vegetables and shrimp and all sorts of things lightly fried over a bed of rice. It's just comforting, and it's a good time. And that is a chain that you can find all over the place. That's all I had.
That's our first installment of this Living Big in Japan segment. I think in the future you'll hear things like driver's licenses and nerdy anime stuff to do, various places in Tokyo, you know, maybe nerdy cafes like the Dragon Quest Cafe or the Pokemon Cafe or whatever, you know, all kinds of stuff. It's endless. So I
think just like also tips on how to do Japan better, or like how to prepare yourself. I think those are all worthwhile things. So let us know what you want to hear about, and if you like it, we'll take it into consideration. But moving on, we have trivia. We have first up the website trivia, which you can go and see a picture and answer it and win fabulous prizes. The answer for last week, which was a very difficult one, was Yokai Watch.
It was difficult.
The winner for the week was Shep. And the winner for the month is what I'm assuming my
I screwed this up. I'm sorry. So the winner for last week was Inuyasha, because it was a picture of like the little cat rolling around on a ball, and Shep got it right last week. So my bad. I screwed that up.
No worries. And then, so last week's winner was Shep. This week's winner is Obscurity 101. So congrats to both of you for getting that. The theme remains of anime cats. And so go over to aapodcast.com to check it out.
Nailed it.
Right. We also have in-show weekly trivia question.
Yeah. And the in-show weekly trivia question in honor of Dr. Stone this week. The anime question is about Dr. Stone. And if you've seen the anime, you'll know the answer to this one for sure. And the anime Dr. Stone, how many years is Senku, who is the main character, of course, locked in stone? And when we come back from that, we have Mandi's Manga Minute. We have the Waifu Wars. And, of course, we have our main topic where we're going to choose our own topics and bring a variety of things to the table for you to listen to. So stay tuned, and we'll be back after the news break. Anime Addicts. Mitsuki is here, bringing you your first round of anime news, leading us off with some Netflix news. They have announced partnerships with 6 Japanese creators, including Clamp, the creators of Cardcaptor Sakura, Chobits, and so many other properties. Shin Kibayashi, the creator of Kindaichi Case Files and Tante Gakuen Q, Yasuo Otagaki of Mobile Suit Gundam Thunderbolt, Otsuichi of Goth and Kimi ni Shika Kikoe Nai, To Ubukata of Marduk Scramble, Fafner, Sokyu no Fafner, and Mari Yamazaki of various titles. This is a pretty exciting deal because it looks like Netflix is continuing to double down on its investment into anime, which will no doubt bring us lots of new titles coming up in the future. Next up, the director Tsutomu Mizushima has announced just before the creation or the completion of the new Shirobako film that the title was officially completed on the 29th of February. The film did complete, but just a couple days before that, they actually ended up completing the film, with Tsutomu Mizushima tweeting out just a couple days prior that the film had been complete and thanking the staff for their work. The film is set 4 years after the events of the original Shirobako TV anime. Aoi Miyamori is busy dealing with ordinary troubles in her daily work life, etc. If you're a big fan of Shirobako, well, this is going to be a pretty big hit for you, I think, so you want to check out the film of Shirobako and continue the story from where the anime left off. Next up, Pokemon fans. There was an official Pokemon of the Year vote, 140,000 total votes cast, and it looks like the top 10 are a little bit surprising. Gengar from Gen 1 coming in at number 10. Gardevoir, I actually don't know some of these. Rayquaza, Garchomp, Sylveon, Umbreon, Charizard, old school Pokemon, coming in at number 4. Mimikyu, Lucario coming in at number 2. And number 1 of this past vote of fans of their favorite Pokemon is Greninja. So for those of you that are fans of Greninja, get excited about that. And of course, next up and lastly, it looks like the results of the anime awards from Reddit's 2020 anime awards have been announced. Reddit, of course, has a very huge thread on their service that has over 1 million subscribers on it. And the awards are a little surprising, with Anime of the Year going to Hugto Precure from the jury that they have assembled. The jury that they have assembled also crowned Sarazan Mai as the best original anime. Animation went to Mob Psycho 100, and et cetera, et cetera. And it looks like the only real divergence of any significant note is that the public vote for Anime of the Year went to Attack on Titan Season 3 Part 2. None of those awards going to the Demon Slayer. This was Mitsugi, and this was your anime news break. And now, as always, time to get back to the podcast. Anime Addicts, JList and JBox.com are definitely one of your best online sources for fantastic Japanese snacks, including all sorts of exotic flavors of Pocky you won't find in the States, including, well, they have the original Pocky flavor, of course, Pocky Milk, Almond Crush, Tsubutsubu Strawberry, Hakuto and Strawberry flavor, Kuromitsu Kinako flavor. They even have whiskey-flavored Pocky over at JList.com. They also have fantastic flavors of Topo. For those of you that don't know Topo, it's almost like a reverse Pocky where the icing is on the inside instead of the outside. They've got baked chocolate flavor, bitter chocolate, which I guess is like a dark chocolate, strawberry and milk flavor, sweet potato and rich cream, and they have just an insane selection of chocolate to just satisfy all of your cravings over at JList and JBox.com. I recommend you check it out for all of your sweets shopping needs. And you'll be supporting the podcast as well over at JList and JBox.com.
Hi, this is Kate Oxley, voice of Akane Tsunemori in Psycho-Pass, How Guilty Are You? And I am a total anime addict.
And now, great moments in Anime Addicts Anonymous history.
What is your video game Mount Rushmore? I would say Mega Man. Mega Man deserves to be on this list.
Nowhere near the Mount Rushmore.
Are you serious?
I'm 100% serious.
Are you kidding?
I mean, yes, Mega Man has some great games, but who? Are you kidding me?
Dude,
Mega
you
Man
are out of your mind,
on the
man.
Mount Rushmore?
You're crazy. You're going to put Master Chief that hasn't contributed anything to gaming, and you're going to knock out...
100%
And you're going to knock out Mega Man, which basically solidified Capcom as a game company.
And where are they now?
One of the biggest video game companies in the world, responsible for Resident Evil, 1,000 arcade machines.
When was the last?
Oh my god!
When was the last good Resident Evil?
I can't believe it.
Hasn't Capcom stopped making video games?
No, I would argue absolutely 100%, without a doubt, that Sonic the Hedgehog, who basically founded Sega himself, is more important than Master Chief.
And he fell off a cliff just like Mega Man.
But that doesn't matter. He created an entire company. Without Sega, you wouldn't have the Genesis, the Dreamcast.
Who cares about the Dreamcast? That system was...
Dude, Sega Corp is a gigantic company that makes like half of Japan's arcades.
BCom says, where is Sega now?
Making billions and billions of yen.
In the video game industry?
Yes!
In the video game industry.
Dude, you're nuts,
What video
man.
games are they making?
They make tons of video... Dude,
What video games?
You're only
What's a big Sega video game right now? What's a big game?
I need you to calm down so I can
question.
talk.
I just want to know.
And now, back to the podcast.
That one's gotta hurt.
Very topical.
It's gotta hurt.
Yeah, we're back. So before we went on break, we had a question. The question was, in the anime Dr. Stone, how many years is Senku locked in stone? The answer is 3,700.
Too damn long.
Sanza Nanahaku.
That's right. All right. Well, now that we're back, I'm having myself a little cheese stick. Pretty yummy stuff. And
I have a tachikoma.
Mandy's got a tachikoma, and she's also gonna give me a minute to eat this cheese stick that I'm holding right here in my hand because it's delicious.
That is the purpose of the Mandy's Manga Minute, to give you a minute to eat a cheese stick.
It is not a bad. It is not an opportunity to eat a cheese stick should not be missed. That's all I have to say.
I did have a violent reaction when you said I have a cheesesteak or cheese stick. I thought you were gonna say a cheese stick flavored monster, and I was like, oh no. Oh no, what have they done?
All right, let's hit it.
And now, let's take a minute for the Manga Minute with Mandi.
This is Mandy's Manga Minute, where I take a minute to give you a minute to eat a cheese stick and tell you about a manga to help you find something new to read. This one is called The Girl from the Other Side, Shularun. Long ago, there was a god of light and a god of darkness. While those devoted to the god of light experienced happiness and good fortune, the god of darkness would play tricks on the people and steal their joy. And so the legend goes, the god of light decided to punish him by turning him into a monster. Enraged by this, the god of darkness wielded his punishment as a curse in order to inflict suffering upon others. Because of his actions, he was banished to the outside, where he and his monstrous children are to remain for eternity, while those from the inside must never come in contact with someone from the outside, lest they be cursed with a hideous form. A little girl named Shiva, an insider, is founded by an outsider she comes to know as Sensei. Though they cannot touch, Sensei cares for Shiva as best he can, and together they live a moderately happy life. But soon, Shiva not only finds herself in danger from the outside, but from her own kind as well. This is one that Mason talked about last week, the short from Wit Studio for. And I wanted to correct myself. I accidentally last time said that it was by the same creator as Ancient Magus Bride. I was wrong. It is not. I actually figured out where I got that from. It's because one of the back of the book says, for fans of Ancient Magus Bride. So I got the authors mixed up. Not the same author. But The Girl from the Other Side is a dark supernatural story written and illustrated by Nagabe. It is an ongoing series with 7 volumes currently available in English, both printed and digitally. Girl from the Other Side moves at a slower pace, and it allows us to uncover the mysteries it presents at a very deliberate pace. And we develop a lot of questions surrounding our 2 protagonists, such as why is Shiva seem to be immune to this curse, and what is the secrets that Sensei holds, and what exactly do the cursed ones want, and why does Sensei seem to be so insistent on protecting this child? And as we explore all of these questions, we are treated to plenty of touching scenes between a child and their surrogate father. And while all of the demonic beings and the humans we meet, it's between everyone that we meet, it's a constant battle between light and dark. And even the art itself does a fantastic job of illustrating this. I was trying to find a good picture to show on stream, but everything that like from Sensei and all of the demonic beings that we meet are done in a very dark black. And when we meet Shiva, the girl in the front, she's always done such a pure white with very simplistic lines. And the artwork helps to carry on the themes of it. And Sensei, I'm sorry, it strikes a very like, and I don't know, it's a very striking image that permeates the entire story, and it fills you with both a love and dread throughout the whole thing, because we get a lot of really cute scenes between Sensei and Shiva, but there's also a lot of, it's a very dangerous world that they live in. And so far, I have been really enjoying it. I've read 3 volumes so far, so I haven't finished, like I haven't caught up to where it's currently at. But I'd recommend it if you're like a fan of Somali or other kind of similar stories with the surrogate father type tales. I'd say Ancient Magus Bride as well. I think they nailed that on the back of the book.
Yeah, when you said it was the same author, I was like, yeah, I believe it. It's absolutely very simple. The aesthetic of this series is so strong. Like you don't even need to read the word. Just like flipping through, there's just something very interesting about these two extremely polar opposite dynamic characters just being in a scene together just is cool to look at.
Here's the picture I was looking for. It's one of Shiva running from a fire, but in the fire there are crows. And like look how like that image here, I'm showing it on stream. I'll put up a picture of it on our live stream chat for people who are listening to this on iTunes. But yeah, just that one right there with all the really dark cross hatching, and then I almost called her Somali. Shiva is in such a very pure white, very simplistic lines. You get a really like it's just a striking image, and this is like throughout the entire book, just this constant battle between the light and darkness inside of it. It's really good. I highly recommend checking it out.
Agreed.
And again, that will be made into an anime in about 6 months.
We got a short.
So I hope we get more. I hope we get more.
If they do more, I really hope it's like the Wit Studio one. If they could carry that out throughout the entire series, that'd be really nice.
All right. Well, thank you, Mandi, for that. Is it time for a war of endless proportions to ravage the world once again?
Indeed. How's the cheese stick?
That cheese stick, well, I ate it very quickly. It was gone. It was gone in a flash, but not disappointing at all, I would say, and much needed.
In the game of waifus, you either win or you are late to anime school. Cake will be thrown, ice cold tea will be served. Who will be top in the class and who will be flunked in Mason's Waifu Wars?
So welcome. Even though it is March, I've decided, because I got shortchanged with the anime Oscars episode, that I've still got one more cooking waifu up my sleeve. And, reviewing my picks so far, just in general, I've realized how many of my previous choices just are also good cooks. You had Lata from Aka 13, you had Akari from Sangatsu no Lion, you had Sakamoto with his distinct cooking boy apron that I regret more than anything in my life for not purchasing that when I went to Japan. But you know what?
Damn.
It's okay. I have been getting tons of requests or recommendations from Discord people who are like, hey, Moral was saying like, oh, remember Winry from Full Metal Alchemist? She can cook. Mandi was like, hey, there's some Dorohedoro ladies who can fix a mean feast.
There's also Hijikata, who's great with mayonnaise.
Yeah. We long know the Gintama story. We had a Various who talked about like Makoto Shinkai. He could be a cooking waifu. He just makes good-looking food. Azulet recommended Sailor Jupiter and The Master from Midnight Diner, and I really hope we get an anime adaptation of that. Chibi Rob. He's also just a cooking husbando on the Discord. He's posting
that's true.
His creations all the time. But last week I did say that my final candidate was going to be the hottest waifu of all time. Unfortunately, Mandi's guessing ability proved too powerful, but I'm still going to give him a shout out. The planned waifu was going to be Calcifer.
I told you.
Howl's Moving Castle. He's the fallen star of the movie.
you need to be suspicious if Mason's saying,
Yeah.
"Oh, they're so hot. They're so
They're
hot."
so hot, guys. Haha, very funny.
Automatically suspicious.
Automatically. What is he up to? Yeah, he's the fire elemental that serves not only to power the entire castle, the entire operation that Howl's got cooking, but all cooking would be nothing without him. And he says all the time, like, I don't cook. I'm a scary and powerful fire demon, but I know otherwise. I know him more than he knows himself. And like the gifs, the images of him like cooking bacon and eggs are one of the few things that like warm my heart. And if that isn't the trait of a waifu, I don't know what is.
Is it one of the few things?
It's one of the few things. It's right up there.
And his bacon and eggs look good as hell, by the way.
Yeah, they do.
Always. Even though he does say at one point, I think, like, I'm gonna curse you with like burnt bacon or something.
No.
I forgive him. I forgive him.
May all your bacon burn.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't even joke.
When they're like forcing the pan onto him, he's like, no, I don't want to cook. So in lieu of all of that, the final waifu for the cooking theme and close out the saga is going to be from one of the comfiest shows that I have ever seen. It's called Tamayura, and this is done by the legendary director Junichi Sato. He did the first 2 seasons of Sailor Moon before Ikuhara took over. He did Princess Tutu, and he did a bunch of others before he just wanted to make shows that were maximum comfiness. So he did the Arya series in the 2000s. He did a Manchu in the late 2010s. But right in between those, he did his finest, which is Tamayura, which tells the story of a group of high school girls in the city of Takehara, which is like a sleepy seaside town in Hiroshima. There's no like school club that they're in that needs saving. There's no magical cats that whisk things up. It's just like a meditative look into like the subtle development of these main characters as they explore and follow their interests. It's rooted loosely around like the main character Fu and her love of photography. But the character who I most resemble in this show, which is Sayomi, is like the antagonist of the series and just drags these nice girls to exploring these like obtuse, undiscovered places on these like far hikes, and everyone hates her. And I feel attacked for it. But the best girl of the series is Chimo Yakuza, which is the owner of the Okonomiyaki store. And if you've never had okonomiyaki, I'm sure we'll talk about that on the Living Big in Japan segment one day. But it's just like Japanese pancakes. They're just savory pancakes.
What?
And they're a good time. And Chimo,
No way!
She's got a ton of flower power, but she makes the best okonomiyaki around. Forget Love Hina, forget Sweetness and Lightning, whatever show you've seen okonomiyaki in, she makes them Hiroshima style. And if you don't know, Hiroshima style is the best kind of okonomiyaki.
Yep. Sure is.
That's fact. Osaka, get out of here, my man. Mm-hmm. It's all about Hiroshima. And she serves them up with such enthusiasm and flourish, and her desire to improve her craft with constant innovation leads to the legendary 5-stack, which is just 5 pancakes on top of one another. And it's the most godly thing I've ever seen. I dream of experiencing it one day. You know, she's got this straight edge line towards being a cooking waifu. All the suitors that come by, she ignores them all. She's eyes on the prize. And yeah, the show is fantastic. It's great to watch like a single episode right before bed. There's a couple seasons, OVAs and movies, so there's a ton of content, but just start with the 4-episode OVA, see if you like it. It's very much a particular aesthetic, so it's slow, but it's so relaxing and it's so comforting. And check out Tamayura, and that's the Waifu Wars. Very
nice. And it's just very cute too, I might add.
Yeah. A little flower power going on.
Mm-hmm. Well, how fitting that the waifus this time would be a waifu after your own heart, Mason.
Exactly.
That's all
Always.
I can really say.
That's kind of the theme here. And with that, though, we can move forward to our main topic, which is we've all brought in our own topics, and we're just going to chit and chat and talk about them.
Yep.
So I figured yours is a very good one to lead off on.
Yeah, so we lost Cornelius, the cat mascot, last weekend while I was in Mexico. You know, the vet was like, you know, she was kind of nudging me in the direction, and he was 11, so that's that's not super young for a Maine Coon to, reach the end of their lifespan, because Maine Coons are just bigger than most cats. And I tried to save him, but, couldn't do it despite, efforts. So it's wild. Like, Cornelius basically spanned the entire lifespan of the podcast. Like, when this podcast started, he was like a kitten, like 6 weeks old, and basically was with me the entire time we podcasted, and probably appeared on the podcast like, I don't even know, 50 times or something crazy. And everything, all things have to pass, I guess, or whatever you want to say about it. But but in honor of Cornelius, I thought we would do a top 5 anime cats tribute, a Neil tribute, as I'm saying. And Lord knows there are a lot of cats in anime to go through, and I don't know that we have any duplicates here on our list. So we're just going to talk.
Purposely didn't choose them.
We kind of, Mandy and I kind of danced around each other's picks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I also have a top 3 from UDA, our voice actress girl. So we'll see what she has to say. I'm just going to lead off, I guess, and we'll just go around the table here. And I have lots of like cat drops too, like it just doesn't end. Yeah, there's just lots of them here. I can just kill you guys with these drops.
That's scary.
Yeah, I got like 60 of these. And Korin is the first one I wanted to mention. My number 5 is Korin from Dragon Ball Z, the sensu bean growing, fat, fluffy, white cat that always hangs out with Yajirobe for, I don't know why. Like, Yajirobe is so worthless. And Korin is like old and ancient and basically saves the world a billion times because, without the sensu beans, they would have lost like every fight they were ever in. So, but Korin up in Korin Tower, makes his first appearance in Dragon Ball when Kid Goku climbs the tower, and just a good old fluffy white cat. And with his, does he have like a staff? I guess he does have a staff. Yeah, a little staff, and he's just great. So I love Korin. So, and we had a cat named Korin that was also white and fluffy at one point in my life. So, Yep. So that's number 5. So moving right along, I think we will have to see what Mandi has to say here.
I was laughing because I could see Mason highlighting to check out which one my number 5 pick was.
Yeah, I was like, Neko Sensei. That gives me. Sorry, spoilers.
And then I saw his face go, oh.
Yeah.
I was laughing because Neko Sensei is from Princess Tutu. And he's kind of like a cat man, and he's the teacher of their ballet class. And I don't know. He's a goofball. He's always just threatening people that he's going to make them marry him. I was like, you know what? I would marry this cat. He just needs some love. Yeah.
He's looking for love.
But when he's real stressed out, he just starts scratching shit up. It always cracks me up. But yeah.
Well, no, I looked it up because I'm like, Neko Sensei. Well, Neko's cat, obviously. I don't know what it could be. And just in our document, Mandi has in parentheses, I would marry this cat. And I'm like, what cat? So, no, that explains it.
I would marry this cat. Yeah. I mean, he just needs love. Somebody give that cat some love.
Otaku Cop in the chat says, does Hanakawa count?
Oh, good question. Black Hanakawa, number
Black Hanakawa?
5.5.
No.
Yes. Black Hanakawa, number 1 for me.
Number 1 through 4. Obviously, I have Tamayura on the mind because my number 5 cat is Momoneko, which is
Peach cat.
Is barely could be considered a cat. It's really just a white pile of fluff. He's a chonky boy, and I love my chonky cats. I mean, if we're being honest, really speaking from the heart, I'm definitely more of a dog boy, but even I can respect the quality of some certain characters in cats. So Momoneko, he fluffs around, everyone loves him, and he just runs the town. He's kind of the underground mafia leader where everyone just respects the boy. Despite his gentle and fluffy demeanor. So, very soothing. Good cat.
Yeah, and Momoneko, as its name would indicate, does look kind of like a peach, sort of. So there's a bit of a pink hue to Momoneko's fluff. All right. Anything else to say about Momoneko, Mason?
No, I just want to sell people on Tamayura, and I figure I need to have some pick that will be like no one's ever heard of.
Gotcha.
I put it on my list while you were talking.
Oh, very, very soft.
I'm gonna watch it soon. How many episodes?
It's a 4-episode OVA, 2 12-episode seasons, and then like a couple hour-long movies.
Okay.
But
That's not bad.
I mean, you'll very quickly know like if the show's for you by the time the OVA is over. But it's so relaxing. Anyway, we can move on.
Number 4 here is Chiyo's father from Manga. Not sure if it's even
Terrifying
yeah.
cat.
Oh yeah, not even sure if it's a cat really, but it like I don't understand.
It's her father.
It's just so confusing.
I'm surprised he didn't choose Chain Chomp.
Yeah. Oh well, I could have.
The one that
I
looks
thought,
like Chain Chomp.
I thought about it.
People.
I thought you were
about
gonna
it,
say for Mario. What? He's a cat.
You know, I thought about it, but that
Just
cat's
looks
just
like
such a nasty little cat. Like it doesn't deserve it. So Chiyo's father, often seen fluffing around the screen, just like drifting randomly through the sky. Talking. I mean, it's just bizarre. And doesn't. It's like flat too, like 2-dimensional. I don't know. Chiyo's father is weird. If you've seen Manga, you know who I'm talking about. If you haven't seen Manga, you probably ought to. You should just go watch it because it is sort of a classic at this point. So yeah, Chiyo's father is totally bizarre. So I think coined as the name as Chiyo's father inside of one of Chiyo's dreams while she's sleeping in class, I believe. Okay, next up.
My number 4 is Morgana. Look, guys, I always struggle with going to bed on time. Morgana's got my back. Morgana's always there to remind me, yo, you need to go to bed. Stop working on stuff.
Stop playing your farming RPGs.
Yeah, stop playing Rune Factory. Go to bed. Morgana, thank you. That's why you're number 4.
My number 4 pick, I as I indicate my Fooly Cooly poster behind me, is Takun from Fooly Cooly. Not because by himself he's a great character, but I think the sound clip of the actress saying like Takun repeatedly over like my multiple rewatches of that show have just seared into my being, and I just instantly think of him when I think of cats. And he's kind of a pipsqueak, but he's cute enough. He gets number 4 slot.
I think I may have forgotten to mention Morgana's for Persona 5. For those who maybe don't know.
I guess it's a fair point.
Yeah,
the game, the animation, the Royal, the movie. There's all sorts of stuff. But Phantom Thief, Morgana.
All right. So number 3 is Gigi from Kiki's Liver Service. It's just too great. Too classic, too great. I mean, it's just too good. And voiced to perfection by both in English and Japanese. So, yeah, not much to say else about there. People know who Gigi is. Very, very, probably the most recognizable cat, I would say.
Probably the most staple.
Yeah. That's about all I have to say.
My number 3 is the Kawamoto cats from Sangatsu no Lion. These cats are so cute, and they're desperate for some food. They have like they don't talk, but they do have like their own inner monologue, and they're just so cute when they're like just trying to get food from people.
As they do.
Is Mason about to show us something?
I don't know. What's he doing? He's looking for something. He's digging.
I couldn't find it in time.
Oh,
It
wow.
wasn't really the cat I was looking for.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had this Sangatsu no Lion manga. Is that English or Japanese?
It's a Japanese, and boy, is it hard to read. There's a lot of text in this thing.
I don't
Yikes.
think it got an official English, but hopefully they do.
All right, what's number 3, Mason?
My number 3 is kind of similar to your pick of Gigi. It's Cheeto from Flying Witch, who like
I wanted this one on my list.
I'm sorry, I stole this one from Mandi because I put in my picks first because I knew I was going to run out of options. If like Cheeto doesn't do a whole lot for the story, but like aesthetically, why am I saying that word so much today? Is probably the best looking. Like, you want a black cat? This is like the peak. This is what peak performance looks like. Cheeto just looks phenomenal, and something about it is just super appealing.
I love when Cheeto gets really like obsessed with like the sliding screen paper and just starts poking holes in it.
or he like goes out and is like chasing down like birds and like realizes very quickly he can't catch them and just gives up. It's like, yeah, I sympathize. But yeah, no, Cheeto's a good looking cat.
All right, so I got UDA to record her number 3.
So now, number 3 favorite is the Baron from Mimi o Sumaseba, Whisper of the Heart by Ghibli. I don't know if this movie was popular other than Japan, but this cat called Baron, I don't know what it's called, is so cool, and I just fell in love. He's like a porcelain cat figurine in the old store, but then in the dream situation, he flies and he talks, and he's so ikemen. I guess ikeneko. So I love him.
He's so Ike-men.
Ikeneko.
Ike-men means like handsome, by the way, in case you guys want to know.
Yeah, but now he's Ikeneko.
All right, for me, number 2 is Chi from Chi Sweet Home. I love Chi. She's so cute. They bastardized Chi Sweet Home when they came out with the CG season. Ugh. But just cute to the max. Just comfy show, short episodes, easy to watch, never a letdown. Chi from Chi Sweet Home is a home run for people who like just cute cat stuff, and a lot of it is from like Chi's perspective. So it's really good. So don't want to
Chi Sweet Home Run.
Chi Sweet Home Run, yeah, for sure, yeah. Oh yeah. You ain't lying. All right.
My number 2 is a combination of both Luna and Artemis. Because not only are they adorable, but they're in love and they have kittens and they're great.
Wow. A duo.
And they're probably the most recognizable cats from anime.
Yeah, it could be. 2 for the price of 1.
From Sailor Moon. I forgot to mention that, sorry.
Oh, come on. Everybody knows that.
I mean, there are newer anime fans who probably wouldn't know.
Well, they should. Now they do.
Possibly.
Now they do. All right, Mason, what do you have here?
My number 2 was another one that I stole from Mandi, which is Sakamoto from Nichijou. This is the cat. Nichijou Deska.
Love Sakamoto.
He gets blamed for everything, and he has to deal with 2 just doofy characters, these 2 little girls who just run all over the place and create chaos and havoc, and it would be a nightmare for him, but somehow they develop a bandana that allows him to talk in this super soothing, suave voice, and we just get to hear his struggle of, the internal struggle of wanting to be a cool guy and being a cat who is tempted by fluffy things and lights and birds and stuff, and he's just a good cat. And
Professor, who ate all the snacks? Sakamoto. What?
I'm too scared to go to the bathroom because it's thundering and lightning. Sakamoto comes up. I will protect you. She's like, not now, Sakamoto. You're weak. You can't protect me.
So good.
Cringe. And he just has to live with that, and I feel so bad for him. So he gets blamed for everything, but I like him.
All right, and from UDA.
Number 2. This goes to 隣のトトロ My neighbor Totoro. Totoro can be my kitten. I just want to ruff, here and there. Okay, enough of daydreaming. I cannot touch cat anyways.
I forgot she's allergic to cats. But also, does that look like a cat?
I'm not sure if
She
Totoro's a
said-
cat or not.
She didn't say he was a cat. She said he could be her cat.
Oh,
Which
that's
means,
true.
I guess, mentally, you can do enough backflips and gymnastics to say, "Oh, this is my cat."
You know what? It doesn't
Listen,
matter.
if
UDA
you're
is
walking down the
never
street
wrong.
with Totoro on like a leash or something, and they're like, "What's that?" and you're like, "That's my cat."
There
No one's gonna. People will just nod their head and be okay.
was
UDA
actually,
is never wrong.
It's true, exactly.
I pretty much tell UDA like this is how long the clip should be, because voice actresses and stuff, and actors, they charge by like the second or by the word. But like she always just does way more than I ask for. And that clip is actually much longer than the one that I just played for you, and in which she does acknowledge that she doesn't know if Totoro's a cat or not. Probably not, but I cut that out because like I'm not gonna play
I'll allow
two
it.
and a half minute clips here. It would be a little long. So,
I'll allow it.
but much like UDA, we are of one mind because my number one is, of course, it's the cat bus from My Neighbor Totoro. Because the cat bus just brings tears to my eyes when I see it in theaters. And also when I sit inside the adult-sized cat bus in the Ghibli Museum, and it is indeed. I have experienced it. It is as fluffy as you might expect. Fantastic. The cat bus.
As have I. As have I. I sat there, and it felt right. It felt really good.
Did it just change? Did it just change the way you thought about things, Mason? Was it just like this is? I understand
it
now.
gave me some time to reflect. Yeah.
So, cat bus is
I
great.
wish I was like under the age of 7, so you can actually play on the cat bus in like the Ghibli Museum, like Kid Zone.
I could probably do it.
I am a child, I know, but I couldn't disguise myself.
I want to see you try to disguise yourself as a child.
In Japan.
And listen, the cat bus is always going to be willing to take you to the Shichi Kokoyama Hospital every time. Okay, next.
My number one, no surprise at all.
Who could have guessed it?
It's Nyanko Sensei, of course, from Natsume Yujincho.
God, I knew
He is the best cat. I have a big plushie of him. I forgot to bring him. I instead brought my Tachikoma. I don't know why I did that. I wasn't thinking clearly.
That's not a cat.
No, Tachikoma could be my cat. Yurie said so.
I guess if Totoro can be a cat, so can Tachikoma.
Nyanko Sensei is the best. He is a very powerful yokai who is trapped in the body of a little happy cat, and he's very simple to draw. He's just a big old round chubby cat.
He's another chonker.
Yeah, but he's always there to protect Natsume. He's a little bit of a tsundere, like a lot of cats are, where he doesn't want to be loved, but it's pretty obvious that he loves Natsume quite a lot. I kept trying to mix lot and big together, and I got quite a bot. But and he loves his sake. He loves eating. So just make sure you always have snacks there for Nyanko Sensei.
All right.
He would have been on my list had Mandi not immediately claimed him deservedly. So I figured the only cat that really best combines everything I like in this world is the collective animal of Banania. All the cats from that series that are just food incarnates as they bounce around, and they're adorable and they're food, and I think that will be enough to justify my inclusion on their list.
Okay.
Did you know all the Bananias are voiced by Yuki Kaji?
All of them?
I didn't know all of them. I know.
I could be wrong. I know the main
right.
one is.
I'll believe it. You know what? That just supports my claim on why they're so good. So, Banania. There you go.
They're all voiced by Aaron Yeager.
I like it.
And as you know, and just like UDA chose a non-cat for number 2, number 1 is indeed Jubei from Ninja Scroll.
Number 1 goes to ta-da! Doraemon!
Just kidding.
When I think about the cat in the anime, Doraemon just came to my heart. So many of great gadgets! I think I want to get the Dokodemo Anywhere door the most, since I always run late. With that door, I can be ready and just go there in time. Oh, which gadget you want the most? Tell me.
Oh,
I don't know all his gadgets.
Yeah, he's got a bunch of them. But yeah, the Dokodemo door is the the anything pocket is the other big one.
Well, I feel like, yeah, but from the pocket comes everything. Or unless you're saying just the concept of a pocket that could hold anything. Either way.
Anyway, pouring one out for Cornelius. You know, he'll be missed, so I'm probably gonna hike up Quandary Peak again this weekend, and I'll be spreading half of his ashes up the mountain, and then the other half I think I'm gonna plant in like a giant pot and put like a tree in it or something in my living room. So sad times, but let's move on to happier stuff. Mason?
Yeah, I guess we could do mine if we want to do another list. So as I mentioned in the Hobby Addicts, I've been suffering from like I just got my wisdom teeth removed. So I've been, besides being a little chipmunk as of late, I've just been wanting comfy things in my life. Hence Tamira talking about constantly. And with the upcoming, anime Boston trip that we might have, I was like, you know what? Let me just think about like comfy cosplay ideas, things that are really easy to cosplay, or you often hear about cosplays that are just like a pain to get around in, or just for a whole day at a convention aren't comfortable to wear. And Mandi had like put up, I think, a link or something of the a sweatshirt hoodie from Gintama that like Katsura like wraps in.
Oh,
And I'm like,
Zura. Yeah.
yeah, the Zero wrap hoodie. And I was like, you know what? That could be like a comfy thing. So I figured, you know what? This is a list of
I
like,
kind of want it.
yeah, exactly. But that would be like a super comfortable cosplay that would be like very anime specific, but it'd be nice. And these are assuming you're in like an air conditioned convention. So not taking into account like, oh, is the convention in dead of summer or is it dead of winter? And also like, it also is like different kinds of comfort. For example, a cosplay from Free, the swim show, might be comfortable to wear, but you might get some uncomfortable looks. So that's not really a comfortable cosplay.
I have a photo of someone cosplaying as Haru in a swimsuit from Otakon, so I disagree.
It's not comfortable for everybody. And I figured like, I'm not going to take the cheap answer, just go with like sports teams, because those are, always a good call. Or like school outfits. Like, we get it. An outfit's an outfit. We can move on. So I guess I can go first. And these, in my mind, go to like comfier and comfier things. But if you want to really like cosplay a character that is very anime specific, but still could be comfortable, the Boogie Pop character from Boogie Pop Phantom really is just a comfortable outfit with just a big cloak and a fancy hat on top. And that would be something that's instantly recognizable, not too hard to make, but pretty easy to get around with, and easy to transport. And you could bundle up the cape and disguise it if you had to go somewhere afterwards. So that's I guess we're doing another list, number 5.
My number 5 is Snorlax. I mean, look, would it be easy to walk around in? No, but if you're walking around in Snorlax, then you're not cosplaying Snorlax. You just park
Exactly.
that shit somewhere and just fall asleep. That's perfect.
I imagine you like finding a good spot, camping out, and like sneaking out the hatch in the back, and everyone comes by and they're like, "Oh, I loved your Snorlax costume," and you're like, "Thanks, I wasn't even in it half the day."
Yeah, it was just a recording of someone snoring. There you go.
Exactly, and it's just a tent, and you can have parties inside.
Sticking with the theme here of easy cosplay, I think like Dead Yamcha is just great. I can't get enough of it. Just die Yamcha. Just dress up as Yamcha and just lay on the ground dead. And you could even put like a little piece of paper under you that has like, it's like intentionally janky looking. Like put a piece of paper under you that looks like a crater, and just lay there and be dead. And people would just walk past you and take pictures of you. And you don't even have to move. You don't even have to walk. You could just fall asleep there. Done. Perfect cosplay. Nothing could be more accurate of a dead person than someone who's sleeping. Just lay there and be asleep. Perfect.
I can tell Mitz and Mandi had a very similar thought process for that one. My number 4, I figured if we're going with someone else, you could have a 2-person cosplay. So I had 2 ideas for these. One was from Girls' Last Tour, Cheeto and Yuri's. They just kind of wear parkas and like soldier helmets. That'd be super comfortable to wear. And it'd be a little more detailed, but from Tekken Concrete, the movie, Black and White, the 2 brothers have a pair of outfits that are kind of just normal clothes with a bunch of jangly like jewelry on it. And that'd be pretty easy to walk around in. So those are 2 ideas that are kind of fun.
My number 4 was Moriko Morioka from MMO Junkie. I mean, it's just for me, just me. I just go myself.
Exactly. The ultimate cosplay.
The ultimate cosplay. I get to go in like jeans and a t-shirt.
You really do have to spend like a couple hours the night before preparing by staying up late playing video
playing Rune
games.
Factory 4?
Exactly.
Yeah.
You don't want to get a good night's sleep or something. That'd be, that'd be
I just came out
unbelievable.
of a WoW raid and I'm good to go.
Exactly.
Look, I live this life. It's the best cosplay for me.
For me, number 4, I think that it's tried and true. Just a Pokemon trainer, normal clothes plus the hat plus the belt with the Pokeballs on it. Done. I mean,
Yep.
You could even like throw a Pokeball on the ground and yell. I mean, whatever. It's tried and true.
So,
I've seen
someone
it a
from
ton
the
of
Twitch said that too. They're
Yes.
like Pokemon trainer. That's the way to go.
Yeah, I saw that, and they're not wrong. So
I've done a Pokemon trainer quite a few times.
there you go. The proof is in the pudding, or in the Pokeball. So Mason?
Yeah, I figured number 3 was for one just like under a general category of like uniforms. Recent ones that I thought were good would be like the bookseller Honda-kun uniforms. If you had like a bunch of friends to go with just like the apron and all wore like funny stuff on your head, that'd be fun. The Hoseki no Kuni, the gem uniforms, you just get a black pair of shorts and a black t-shirt. Those are pretty easy with a bunch of people. You just wear fancy colored wigs. And kind of odd, the from Kuchu Barranco trapeze, the doctor's outfit. You just wear, a white lab coat with just a really zany tie underneath it and some wacky pants. Boom, you're the doctor. Put on some red specs and you're ready to go.
My number 3 was Tsukimi from Princess Jellyfish because she's always in just sweatpants.
And that's kind of half the reason that inspired this, because in our fan art Friday that Carolyn puts on social media, someone posted not the gray sweatpant version of Tsukimi, but just the normal cosplay of it, and it was like, oh, that was real nice. She also has this super comfy alternative, and that was also an excuse to plug people. If you don't draw but do cosplay, send that stuff over to Caroline and she will feature it, because we like seeing that sort of thing.
Yeah, her name was
Danny, I believe.
Danny Marie. Yeah,
there you go.
It looks great too.
It is amazing.
Whose turn is it? My turn?
It's your turn.
The kid from ReZero is pretty easy. Just got a tracksuit on. I say this because ReZero is coming back. His name's Subaru, by the way. It's coming back. It'll be here soon, and I'm sure most of the anime world is waiting for it, considering it's now the 22nd most watched anime ever on Mal. So it's like we're up there with like Bebop at this point. So popular stuff. ReZero tracksuit. You can probably, and you know what? A tracksuit is something you could probably wear just like casually, like at home or whatever. So
I don't know about. I guess. I was gonna say I agree though. My number 2 was all tracksuits.
Oh, you have that.
Yato from Noragami, Nino's tracksuit from Arakawa Under the Bridge, like the blue with the white stripes. And if you want to get recent, from if my favorite pop idol made it to Budokan, I Would Die. Eri Pio has like a salmon pink tracksuit that's also pretty similar to Nino's, and it's a good time. So those are all recognizable enough that people would know what you're doing without looking like a slouch, when in actuality you're just being a slouch that has a nice excuse to wear a tracksuit.
My number 2 was Tanaka-kun from Tanaka-kun is always restless. Wait. Tanaka-kun is always listless. There we go. I missed the word. Yeah, you just
like Kude Kura.
Yeah,
I don't remember.
Yeah, you can just be Tanaka, and you just gotta get a friend to be your Ota, and he just carries you around. It's perfect.
That's pretty similar to the Snorlax one. You just have to have a friend strong enough to lug you around the place.
The best cosplay is just one of you sleeping.
Yeah.
There you go.
Cosplay.
Colored wigs. You could just buy a wig, just get a crazy wig, put it on. That's it. You don't have to do much else. People will look at you, they'll go, well, what character is that? You're almost like trolling people with it.
Oh, you haven't heard of this character?
Noob. Exactly.
There you go. Get that elitism points.
Yeah, just get like just get a wig of like Super Saiyan hair and put it on. Like it probably cost you like $25, and then you can a cheap wig. You stick it on.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Finally, though, the comfiest cosplay of all time, without question.
I'm kind of curious
Guaranteed
about
winner.
this.
the bear Kigurumi from Serial Experiments Lane. In such a dark, depressing show, for them to have just an outfit that calms me so much.
Oh, I see.
It's very nice. It's very nice. I want one. I want to be the bear. I want to be that comfortable in my life. And yeah,
Lane. What a depressing what just a depressing anime. It's just wow.
My number one was any of the girls from Laid Back Camp. You just got to get a big comfy blanket, wrap yourself up, you're good to go.
There you go. And that's very true. And for ease of use, it doesn't matter what it is. If you don't want to put forth a damn bit of effort, just buy a costume on eBay. Just be one of those people. Go buy like a Hidden Leaf Village ninja costume for like $50 and just call it a damn day. Everyone will look at you and they'll say, "Look at this guy. He didn't want to do anything. He didn't want to put forth any effort at all. But man, that costume looks good." There you go. Don't be that guy that goes into the cosplay contest with like the costume that you bought online, because everybody knows you bought it. So it's one thing if you want to look like a ninja without putting in much effort, but it's another thing if you want to try to win a prize for that. Just don't do it. And that's it.
There you go. There's
do we have time for me?
Advice from the guy who's never cosplayed before. Yeah, let's do it.
Alrighty. First of all, I want to say that I have a video of a ferret that's been running on just repeat for like the past 10 minutes, and it's still giving me so much joy in life. It is just bouncing along. Anyways,
ferret cosplay win.
I do not have any rankings. I'm sorry. Mine was
Good.
I had some topics that I wrote down from stuff that I just saw in the news, and one of them I noticed that two very I want to say very popular, but I'm also not really well versed with manhwas, Korean manga. But as far as I know, these two are probably two of the most popular ones that I know of. And there are two Korean manhwas, Noblesse and Tower of God. They're getting anime adaptations from Japanese studios, which was really, I don't know, interesting for me, because I could not think of, I could be wrong, but I couldn't think of any manhwas that had received anime adaptations. And so, yeah, I thought that was very interesting that Noblesse is being done by Telecom Animation, and Tower of God is being done by Production IG. And I don't know, I'm wondering if this will pave the way for more manhwas to get adaptations in the future. I don't know. I was the only other one that I really love is Their Story, and I'm hoping that gets an anime later on. But I don't know. Do you think that there is a chance that we might get more Korean mangas made into anime?
I don't know, but I hope so.
I mean, why not, really? I mean,
yeah, I know we get a lot. I've seen a lot of Japanese anime that have got live action dramas in Korea. There's a lot of them. I know Absolute Boyfriend did, and what was the other one that they did? I don't think they did Tokyo Tarareba Girls. That one was Japanese, but there was another one that was a drama that they did. I can't remember. But then there was also Old Boy, and I don't know.
So good.
Yeah, there's a lot of them that get live actions, but this is the first time I've ever heard of a manhwa getting a Japanese anime. So I don't know. I think that's interesting. I also put down that something that I thought was really interesting, an article that I found, is that they are using an AI to write a Tezuka manga, which was wild to me.
To write it?
Yeah, because, Tezuka's been, I don't know when he passed away. I think it's a long time ago, I think. I could be wrong. But, I don't know, it just seems so insane to me that they wrote an AI program and they put all of Tezuka's previous works into it, and it created, based off of those, of the algorithm, they created a new manga based off of it. And of course, it still needs human intervention to clean it all up and to ink it and stuff.
Proofread it.
But I don't know, that was still fascinating to me. And it's called Paidon. And I don't know. What do you think about that? I think I don't know. It seems
I need
weird to
read
bring
this.
back.
I need to read this.
It seems weird to bring back like a very well, like Tezuka is known as like the grandfather of manga. He created so much manga in his lifetime, and I don't know. It seems weird to like make an AI program to write new Tezuka manga. I don't think this is like something that they're trying to like some new way of like doing some kind of like ghost writing kind of manga, but I think it's just to test it out.
So it seems like the program, and maybe you clarified this, did not do the manga. It did the story. Yeah. It did the writing, and then
that's why I said it still needs human intervention to fix it up and to ink it.
Well, when you say fix it up and ink it, I still think that it was written and drawn by the program, which it wasn't. It looks
that's what I meant. Human intervention to ink it.
Well, ink it, I guess I think of inking as different than drawing.
No, I meant drawing.
Gotcha. Okay. Thank you for clarifying. I was like, no way this thing.
Oh, we lost him.
Bye, Mason. He's back.
I'm back.
He comes and goes like the wind. He's never gone for long.
Exactly. Well, I only when the Discord realizes that Mason is making a dumb point, let's stop this. So moving on.
Thank you, Discord.
I don't know. I'd like to read it. I mean, just to see, like, you know, where we've come with machines, you know, at this point.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I mean, I have no doubt, like, you know, a lot of things are going to have human touch to it, but like, you know, but I would be concerned if we ever got to a point where the human touch wasn't needed. That would be concerning, because then it's like you could just mass produce stuff and, you know, and
like they made like more Satoshi Kon mangas and stuff. I don't know. That'd be wild.
Yeah, I'd be worried about like, yeah, I mean, that's like,
yeah, it's weird. Mm-hmm.
That's like when Mozart died and his like apprentices, you know, finished a couple of the works he'd been working on. Like, it's not really Mozart, but you're using the info. I don't know.
I don't know. It's weird. Like, I really want to read it. I just want to see what it looks like and try to figure out like how this program took all of these maybe characters from other manga and were like, I don't know, kind of like blended them together. I don't know. It'd be really interesting.
The chat burns Makoto Shinkai. Nothing changes when an AI makes a Makoto Shinkai script. Oh, God.
Oh, well, damn.
Well, because you can it's just Control-C,
Control-V. Yeah, sort of. Poor Shinkai. Okay. What else,
They put out a new trailer for the new Rohan OVAs that are coming out, the two of them. They put out one for The Run. They put out one for The Confessional. And man, they look so good. I'm so excited for them. I actually have that manga that Mason is showing off.
When
yeah, but I can't read Japanese, so
not yet.
Well, the problem is, it's not that they announced a new OVA. They announced a new OVA
a years ago,
and they're just like, it's only 2 episodes. When are you going to give it to me, please? Thank you very much.
Yeah. I'm really excited for them, but I watched the trailer and I was like, ooh, this looks so good. And I can't wait. I'm still waiting. And it says, I think they had a date on there.
Look how good that boy looks.
Rohan always looks good, guys.
Sorry, visual content, audio medium, ignore.
All you gotta know is Rohan is an attractive boy. But yeah, I don't think they have a date out. I think it says here March 25th on DVD and Blu-ray. So hopefully this month. I don't know how accurate that is, but hopefully. Yeah, I mean, that's all I really got. I also put that on my thing that like we keep getting so many reports of all of these conventions, like big conventions and events being canceled due to that new COVID-19 virus. So I was wondering if, like, do you think that they're going to start doing that over here? Like, what are the chances do you think big conventions over here are going to be canceled?
I mean, I don't want...
Are we going to Anime Boston in a month?
That's what I got. I got flight insurance just because of that. I was like,
I don't know, like, I don't know if coronavirus is one of those topics where I can like really put my foot in my mouth, because I have very specific thoughts about the coronavirus. I'll just say if you look up the actual information about it, the danger of it is vastly overblown. So I don't want to put my foot in my mouth somehow without really realizing
Unless
it.
she has
but,
cystic fibrosis, because it will kill me.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, but if you look it up, like, I don't know. I don't want to put my foot in my mouth, but like, I would really hate it if they would cancel the Olympics, or for example, for something that is mostly a media, like fear creation. Like, I know a lot of people have died from the coronavirus, but if you look up the statistics, it's really not that much. It's arguably not even more deadly than the flu. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't want to get in trouble somehow.
Which also kills a lot of people every year.
It does. That's what I mean. Like, it is highly contagious, but like the actual rate is like 2%, and almost all of those are elderly people. So you just got to look into it. Like, the media will tell you, like, oh my God, everyone's gonna, like, the stock market's crashing, everybody's losing their retirement, but it's like, if you look it up, like, out of the people that are under age 40, like, it only has a mortality rate of like 0.2%. So I don't know.
That's what I love. Everybody's like, oh, you'll be fine unless you're sick or elderly. I look on like, thanks guys.
Sorry, Mandy.
Thanks a lot. Unless you're me, then you're just dead. Thanks.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to that, but I hope they don't cancel all the anime cons. And God, I'm glad we didn't plan a trip to the Olympics. Like, we were gonna do that at one point. It's like, how shitty would it be if we had like all these people that spent a ton of money, and then I'm like, oh well, the trip's either canceled, or sorry guys, I know you spent like $1 billion on Olympics tickets, but there's no Olympics now, or or worse, they just say you can't fly it internationally, and then everyone gets their trip ruined. So, kind of glad now we didn't plan that podcast trip for June or whatever it was gonna be. So,
You're welcome.
So that was a good decision, but what was the original question? I don't know. They're canceling everything.
If you just think that maybe cons over here, like any of the big ones over here might get canceled. I don't know. Like, no, Comic-Con, do you think like Comic-Con would, or
any excuse to get nerds to shower and wash their hands more often, like I'm itching to do right now, is probably okay. So I don't know what, I'm sure it'll vary based on the con, but people, wash your damn hands.
I actually don't want to say anymore. I don't want to.
Just whisper it to me and I'll say it out loud.
No, I don't want to. I just don't want to get in trouble. I'm not gonna say anything else.
Okay.
All right.
Well, anything else, or do we want to move to the news break so we have time for this review?
We got to move, because I cannot wait to talk about Dr. Stone.
Okay, well then, we'll have one more news break to tide you over before that. And to go along with that, we have a trivia question for you. In Dr. Stone, who is Sulfurina? Think about it. We'll let you know.
Hey guys, Mitsugi's back one more time, bringing you your anime news. This time starting off with Manga Entertainment's Q2 2020 release schedule for those of you that are big fans of DVDs out there. Starting off with some March releases: Star Blazer, Battleship Yamato 2199 coming out on Blu-ray, Attack on Titan Season 3 Part 2 coming out in a Blu-ray collection, Hellsing Ultimate, Black Clover, That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, all getting Blu-ray releases. In April, you're going to have Fire Force episodes 1 through 12 in Blu-ray, more Star Blazers, Battleship Yamato 2202 Part 1 coming out, parts 1 through 13 on Blu-ray. In April, you're going to have titles such as Wise Man's Grandchild, which was nominated in our Anime Oscars for some awards. And in May, you're going to have Black Clover, Fairy Tail, Boruto, and Radiant, all getting Blu-ray releases. Next up, very exciting news for me personally. Joe Hisaishi had announced that he was putting on a concert where he would be personally conducting the event in Wembley Stadium over in London this fall. And if you are lucky enough to somehow find tickets to this event, you'll be able to watch it at the Wembley Arena to the event titled Joe Hisaishi, The Music of Studio Ghibli Live, starting at 6:30. And the event is going to be on September 19th. It looks like most of the tickets sold out during the pre-sale, as I heard that people were unable to buy tickets even 2 hours after they went on sale due to the actual release. But if you're able to find tickets somehow, maybe you'll find them on a resale market somewhere. Next up, the 24th Tezuka Cultural Awards nominees have been announced. This is a pretty significant award that recognizes the manga that best follow in the traditions of Tezuka, those going to Demon Slayer and Kodama Maria, Bungaku Shusei, Alna of the Emplacement, Spy X Family, Link's No Lantern, The Blue Period, Sarissa of Noctilucent Cloud, and A Brief History of Robo Sapiens. If you're a fan of manga, you might want to check out these titles, as they seem to be getting some special recognition from the Tezuka Cultural Prize Awards. And lastly, coronavirus just continues to scare everybody, and it looks like the coronavirus has now caused the cancellation of the Anime Japan 2020 event due to, health concerns. The event is offering refunds to people who bought tickets previously, and this was going to be an event that was going to happen from March 21st to the 24th at Tokyo Big Sight, and concerns over the disease have led to the cancellation of numerous events, which we talked about in prior news breaks, have affected things such as the Nippon Bashi Street Festival cosplay event, various other anime events, including Sony Interactive Entertainment, Bushiroad, Square Enix, and all kinds of other companies have been canceling all sorts of events due to the coronavirus. And I think now the latest concern is that they will be possibly canceling the 2020 Tokyo Olympics, which makes me real happy that I never bought any tickets to any of the Olympic events, because that would be awful. This was Mitsugi, and this was your anime news break. And now, getting back to the podcast right now. Hey addicts, podcasting is hard. It takes a lot of work, dedication, time, and money to keep the show running the way we want for all of you wacky anime addicts out there.
But even more than all this, it helps to have support from you, the listeners, so we feel the love, but also so we can keep the lights on.
If you've been enjoying the podcast and want to support the show, you can head over to aaapodcast.com/join or Patreon to throw us a couple of dollars.
A little bit goes a long way, and we'll reward you with our extra content. 8 additional episodes of After Parties, Hobby Addicts, and of course, hentai episodes per month.
With all this money, we can buy me a pizza.
We can make sure Mandy never runs out of manga.
I can finally buy that pompadour I've always wanted.
And I can dig the anime pit of hell just a little bit deeper. Help us stay in business, and we'll help your ear holes with tons of extra content to enjoy. Head over to aaapodcast.com/join now to support the podcast. And thank you.
この番組は JList.com の提供でお送りします。
Hey guys, we're back to the podcast. Intro trivia question here for you. In Dr. Stone, who is Solferina? I actually took this off the Dr. Stone wiki. Solferina is the name of the embodiment of the Emerald Green Spring, a hot spring that emits a deadly poisonous gas consisting of hydrogen sulfide and sulfur dioxide. Bonus points if you do the chemical compounds. All right. And,
well, before we get into our review, we have a review of our own given to us in the iTunes 5-star review.
It's time for iTunes review.
this one is an absolute work of art. We always say every week, give us reviews. We appreciate them. We'll read them on air. Just, help. It appreciates us, and it makes us feel good. And you guys write in with these really long paragraphs and sentences talking about why you enjoy it, and it really makes me feel happy. But sometimes simple is the way to go. So this is a 5-star review entitled Meow, written by that. And all they write is Meow, you did ask for this on episode 501. It's that easy, people. You too can be a hero like Meow and contribute to our success with a simple review like that. So if you go to iTunes, we will read just about anything, just about anything. So yeah, thank you very much, Meow, and your spirit lives on in a very fitting name for this episode. And with that,
Yep. Ohio Sakai, good morning world. All right, I'm so excited. Who passed? Oh, I guess passed by Enzo in episode 483. Well, Enzo's
I got
not
you.
here.
I'm answering your question before you even asked it.
Yeah, Enzo. I wonder what Enzo would have thought of Dr. Stone. But anyway, Dr. Stone is a shonen anime from the summer of 2019. One day, a green light shines across the earth, turning every human being into stone. And 3,700 years later, Senku, a child prodigy and scientific genius, awakens after reviving several friends from his prior life. He puts his knowledge of science to good use and begins to rebuild human civilization in the image of science. And I wrote that one. So, studio TMS Entertainment, and the director is Shinya Ino, who I looked and he hasn't really directed anything else. So, as I said, it's a shonen show. Guys, what did you know about Dr. Stone prior to getting into the meat and potatoes of it, and what did you expect?
You can go first.
I will go first. So I knew Dr. Stone was a big thing. I'm not usually a big shonen guy, but I did read volume 1 of the manga, and I have a special spot in my heart because I actually got it signed by the creators. You can say it says to Mason from Inagaki Richiro and Boichi. So I kind of already had a soft spot for the series going into it. I liked the conceit of the thing, and I went in to watching it, and you might have heard me on multiple episodes kind of poo-pooing the first couple episodes. I was not really feeling it, and I heard people talking about how good it was, and I was like, I'm not really jiving with it so far. And that's kind of how I started with the anime. And as far as where I went with it, we'll get to that later.
Ooh, Mandi?
Ooh.
Mine was exactly like Mason. I did the manga for Manga Minute, and I wasn't too hot on it at the beginning. I was like, I don't know. I went into the anime with that same kind of basically impression of it, like Mason did.
Did we just become best friends?
Maybe.
You want
Debatable.
to go do karate in the garage? For me, I didn't know anything about Dr. Stone at all going into it. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I knew it was a shonen show. I guess I expected it would have lots of fighting in it, because most shonen do, I suppose. And I didn't really know what was meant by Dr. Stone. Who is it? What is it? I'm still not sure I know. But so I went in blind, so completely. So moving on from that, guys, I guess we'll start with Mason again. Mason, would you recommend Dr. Stone now that you've seen it?
I would. I think this show is an unbelievably easy watch. Like, if you love montages and people just constantly marching forwards, this was probably, in recent memory, one of the easiest. Just turn it on and just the episode count just flies up. It just was really easy to go from episode to episode, and it flowed really well. It kept its momentum. It's like, I think Mitz will talk about, it's not a typical shonen, and it was kind of a refreshing take on it, and I think it's worth giving a shot. It's probably it probably needs 4 episodes for you to really feel like, is it your cup of tea or not? It felt like it took a little bit of stewing. It gives the premise right up front, but it takes a while before it hits its stride. So I'd say a 4 or 5 episode test, but I'd recommend giving it a shot because it is a big name one and people will talk about it and it will have more content. So give it a shot. It won't hurt.
Yeah, I think another season was already announced, so I'm not sure.
Season 2 and the movie ?
Yeah, I'm not sure when that's coming, but I kind of guessed summer because the last one came out in the summer, but I don't really know. Mandy, what do you think?
Yeah, I think I'm about the exact same as Mason. Again, that it is definitely one of the biggest shonen that are recent shonen, and it is very different than all of the other ones that I've seen. It approaches like, I don't know, it's weird because it still has some of those shonen tropes in it, but it's trying to tackle them from the viewpoint of like science that is grounded in reality. And I don't know, it was interesting. I think there's a few arcs in there that lost me. Maybe they just didn't land well with me, but I definitely see why they're so big among a lot of the shonen fans. So if you like shonen and you want something that's different, I definitely recommend checking it out.
And as for me, as Mason said, Dr. Stone is an amazingly easy watch. It's the only time I felt sad or disappointed during Dr. Stone was when it was over. To be honest, I just didn't. I never wanted it to end. I just wanted to go on forever. I enjoyed watching this so much. It was so much fun, so easy to watch, so just bingeable. Just unexpected. Like, I don't know if I've ever seen an anime like this before, and just, I don't know. I mean, it was just great. Like, I recommend it for pretty much any audience. I think that it really picks up once they get to like the science village, and that's about the point where and that's like episode 5 or 6. So you got to give it the 5 or 6 episodes, and then if you don't like it by then, maybe you say bye-bye, but hopefully that won't happen. So yeah, I recommend it. I think it's a ton of fun. It was a ton of fun and a pop culture place and time, I guess I would say. So you'll be able to be part of the conversation, as it grows in popularity, if it grows in popularity. So anything else you guys want to say before we just spoil it all?
No, I think I'm ready to go.
Okay.
Spoilers are coming. Oh my god!
All right. So Dr. Stone. So like I said, the Science Village is where I thought that this anime really picked up its feet and started becoming a lot of fun. And they've put so much off until like later seasons in this anime. I'm not really sure. And it's like one of the few times where I'm watching a show and I don't feel like I know specifically where it's gonna go. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, some of the stuff I've watched, there's a lot. It's always full of tournaments, and it's, you just kind of know where these shonen shows are going half the time. But Dr. Stone, it's like the plot line is such that they're just pretty content, just having fun, rebuilding civilization, albeit with a lot of suspension or disbelief. But then, like, I don't know where season 2 is going to go. Are they going to have like a giant battle? Are they going to shake hands and make science together? Like, what the hell is going to happen? I don't know. I love it. I love that the story is not, at least I don't feel like it's very predictable. But I don't know. And I feel like this is like an anime. It's like an anime about Legos in a strange way.
Legos?
Well, because like so many times during the show, they'll have like a huge map of like all of the raw materials that are required to like make something that honestly they would never be able to make in reality, but they do it anyway. And you almost want to just pause the screen and look at all the stuff, like, a big spoiler. I mean, it doesn't really freaking matter. At the end of the show, they're trying to make a cell phone, and it's like they pause the screen and there's like 500 million whatever things that go into making this cell phone, and they'll like show like the map that has kind of like the blueprint of how to make a cell phone. And it's like, oh, you need to have coal, you need to have iron, you need to have sulfur, you need to have tungsten, you need to have all this crap. And I almost just want to pause it and look at it and be like, wow, like there's my Lego directions. Like I'm gonna
They're
build
Legos
this.
because it's literally building blocks
Yeah.
for how to do science.
Ooh.
That was one thing I did think was really cool is how he kept making inventions. People are like, people don't know have all the knowledge that he does. They're like, why are we making a cotton candy machine? But then you do see like how it builds up to how it like snowballs into everything else that he's making. I thought those were kind of cool.
Yeah, I actually forgot about the cotton candy machine. And then seeing all their reactions when they eat ramen, And
Can
it's just-
I just give a personal shout out to the character who asked what's better, ramen or a harem? And he chooses the ramen.
Mhm.
yeah,
My man.
My man.
My man.
that's probably was that the Well, I can't remember his name. He's the guy that has the black and white hair.
Gen?
Asagiri?
I think it's Gen.
Asagiri? Gen
Yeah,
Asagiri?
again, Asagiri. Yeah, you guys both nailed it. Thank you. That was good. Was it the?
Yeah, I liked him way more than I was expecting. But
Yeah, I liked him too. He just wants a soda so bad.
I liked Gen more than I was expecting. Mandy and I talked about this earlier. I think Jinro, and I'll let you go back to driving the bus in a bit. It's Jinro,
you're
the
good.
smaller of the two guards, was a more annoying character than Zenitsu from Demon Slayer. Thoughts?
Yeah, I agree.
He was he was so insufferable. They were both bad, but Genro's way worse.
Yeah, Ginro. Yeah, I always
Yeah.
get them mixed up. I keep forgetting which if Gin or Keen is silver or gold, and I always get them mixed up. So their names are
Yeah.
infuriatingly difficult.
Mandy knows because of Gintama. But yeah, I think that's how it was.
Yeah, it took me a second.
Yeah, now I was doubting it.
Mm-hmm.
This show is
Um,
yeah. Go ahead, Mandy.
No, you can go ahead. You can go ahead.
This show is so different than other shonen shows. Like I put on My Hero Academia, and it's just and My Hero Academia is a beloved show and it's fun, but it's a shonen show. It's a bunch of it's superheroes and fighting, and in the first like 10 episodes or whatever, there's a tournament and there's a test and there's a school, and it's a shonen show. Naruto, a lot of the same stuff. I've already had this conversation before. Dr. Stone is none of that. It does have a tournament, but it's like an episode. It's like an episode long, and this show is more about like, oh man, it's about like deeper down. I think it's about like human society and what is. It's almost like do you guys play the game Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne?
Mm-hmm.
Where the world gets destroyed, and then your character kind of decides how you want the world to be recreated, and you side with like a demon and their ideology. Well, this anime, deep down, it's about like the world will be rebuilt, and different people have different visions as to what makes a good society and what is the best way to recreate the world, because they think, oh, well, we have a great opportunity to alter the course of human existence or whatever. But on the surface, it's just a ton of fun. It's not about fighting. It's about just the wonder of watching what you can create, and watching Senku, who's a great character by the way, just his excitement about the moment when they're able to recreate electricity. And he's talking about how when the light bulb was created, it just redefined human civilization forever. And you have all of these sort of superhuman acts of whatever that you want to call it. It's not superhuman strength, it's not superhuman speed, but it's like he's superhumanly smart. And just watching him recreate society and watching the amazement and the excitement of all the people that are in the village, it's just really like joyous to watch. I don't know how else to put it. Like, but watching them, and by the way, the old man who like makes all the glass and shit, he is just hilarious.
You mean Mitsugi's self-insert character?
I wish. Like, that guy is like,
Armaccio.
he's just hilarious to watch. I mean, he'll be like dead exhausted, and then the thought of like making a vacuum tube or whatever, he just gets up and he just turns into like Master Roshi Rip Man 9000. But this show is like
He was the best character.
he was great. It's shonen, but it does all the things that it doesn't do anything you expect from shonen. at least not many of the tropes, I feel like, aren't captured in this anime. This anime is just more about,
I want
just
to
having fun.
springboard off that when you're kind of like they're reinventing human civilization. It kind of also like helps you like appreciate when you finish watching the episode on your computer/laptop in your air-conditioned room and like go downstairs to get food in your refrigerated unit. Like it helps just remind you that so much of what we've accomplished as a civilization is built on the backs of others, and how good we three and other like have it. And that's always something that not a lot of shows give, and it's something I've been watching My Hero Academia season 4. I've been watching, spoilers, next week we have our Fire Force review. Like, no surprise, I'm not a shonen guy, but watching a lot of these in close proximity to one another, it's very interesting. Demon Slayer was a couple months back, but 2019, 2020 shonen, like, how do they stack up? And this definitely feels the most different of them.
I don't know. Maybe I'm alone in this, but I felt like the village arc was my least favorite part. I don't know, because like in the beginning, I really loved the backgrounds. They had some really fantastic backgrounds, and the art was really nice in the beginning. I don't know, when we got to the village arc, I felt like we got less of the really like interesting looking environments, and I don't know. And then I was sad because Taiju just disappeared through that whole arc, and they just got Yuzuriyo back. I was like, I don't know.
So
it was weird for me.
I guess my response would be, I don't disagree. We went to the village arc, and my first thought was, oh, we're gonna have to deal with a bunch of dumb primitives for many episodes. And honestly, like, they weren't as like dumb Neanderthalic people as I was expecting. And I thought that played well. I agree that it got kind of stale with its location.
Yeah.
I didn't mind Taiju leaving. I think that was just because the show, in my mind, improved after he left. So I agree that the arcs were weaker in the village, but it had by far my individual like favorite moments of the show. For example, when he approaches the guards and fights them off with bubbles, I thought that was genius. I thought probably my favorite moment by far of the entire show was where he manufactures glasses for Suika, the watermelon girl. And she has blurry vision. And so he gives her glasses, and we see them like come over like from her point of view, and everything snaps and becomes clear. And then all of a sudden it starts getting blurry again because she's starting to cry from like the vision she's just been granted, and like to go blurry, clear, then back to blurry, and then you realize, oh no, it's just because she's being so emotional. That was like, ooh, that's a nice moment. Ooh, and it was something that was like nice that happened within that arc, but the overall arc, like especially the tournament arc, I was not very invested in, and it was
I could not get through that tournament arc. It was a really hard watch for me.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll touch on the problematic parts of it later, but a little before, I wanted to say, obviously I've seen October Sky a billion times. The space montage scene earlier, that was great. My biggest problem with the early episodes is there's a scene where Senku is like in a car with his father and they're driving, and Senku has to be at least 7 to 10 years old by now, but he's still in like a toddler's booster seat, and that still bugs me to this
I don't
day.
remember
Like,
that's funny though.
I can't get that image out of my mind. Like, he's a grown child talking about like formulas and stuff, and he's in the booster seat. And I was like, come on, man, dude. Come on, man.
Maybe it's also I don't like Tsukasa. I don't know. Okay, the weird thing, I think why it bothered me in the very beginning of the series, and I got used to it over a while, but at the very beginning I felt weird because it was like trying to balance out real world science with like, I don't know, like shonen superhero people. I was like, Tsukasa is a what was it, like the ultimate high school primate?
Yeah.
And he punches people, and like punches lions and kills them. I was like, come on.
Punches grown lions multiple feet backwards into a tree, snapping it. And that was so much more unbelievable
the
than
part
like
that
the
lost
hardcore
me.
practicality of Senku that it was just like
Yeah.
it was so inessential to telling the
Senku-
story.
Yeah, Senko I kind of accepted. I was like, I get it. He's like his superpower is how intelligent he is. Obviously, these things that he's making for a normal person would take many, 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 many tries. He just kind of gets them like in the first couple tries. I was like, I get it. But yeah, Tsukasa, he was the big problem for me. I was like, he's too unbelievable.
I mean, I think it's the ultimate strength versus the ultimate brain, right?
And I understand that that's the conflict they're going
Mm-hmm.
for. I do technically want to say I do feel like Senku, at least at the beginning when he was trying to find the solution, did go through like half a year of figuring out like it was nitric acid. But I'm just saying, when your conceit of people are magically frozen in time for 4,000 years and coronavirus bat droppings is what saves them, when that's more like when that's less of a stretch than your antagonist being so OP physically.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, they could have just reeled it in a bit. And maybe it'll work out better when we really get the conflict in future seasons. But I don't know. It's just...
Yeah, I see your point. I think that for me, I think I liked all of the show. The only thought, the village arc I really enjoyed because it introduced a lot of characters that I enjoyed a lot. For example, Chrome is one of my favorite characters in the show. And his just enthusiasm and childlike wonder at everything is just totally infectious. And so that's when you get Chrome, right? And pretty much all the characters for the most part. The part of the show that is perplexing to me, where we kept wondering like, where did Yuzuriha and the other guy go? Like they just vanish from the show.
Yeah.
That's my only, honestly, God, this is like my only criticism of this anime is that I don't understand. You know, you've got these two people that are clearly very close friends. I mean, they have multiple flashbacks of what the hell's the guy's name? The boy who disappears. He likes Taiju. So it was like Taiju and Senku. See, I can't even remember his name because he just vanishes from the anime. Taiju and Senku are like they're like best bros, right? And they have all these flashbacks to show that to you. And then and then Senku finds the village, and then you don't hear about Taiju or Yuzuriha anymore at all. And
they went to Tsukasa's village.
Yeah, but he doesn't even look for them. You don't mention, it's not like, oh, I have these friends, or, oh, I should go look for them. And they're not even very far. I mean, he walked 3 minutes and got to this village.
Well,
it's like, go get them and bring them to the
there.
But
he doesn't need to look for him.
But why not bring them to the village?
Why would Tsukasa take them in, knowing that they're friends with Senku? I'm confused about that.
I assumed I thought they were like prisoners or something because Tsukasa such.
No, they just went and joined him. They're like, Senku's like, be my inside agents, go and join his village. And I was like, why would he just accept them?
I mean, they're good labor, and
I guess.
Is that what happened? Did Senku send them to be?
Very suspicious.
Yeah, it was intended because from Tsukasa's perspective, Taiju was killed.
Senku was killed.
Senku was killed, so Taiju has nowhere else to go, and it's like this is their only option if they want to survive in a society, whatever a society of brutes is. I can understand why it was a very why couldn't they just stick together, but
okay, maybe I missed that. So maybe I missed it. But Senku sent them to be spies. Is that what?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I missed that part.
Just to gather intel and just learn about the workings and how many forces and stuff they had,
and also to give off the illusion that Senku's still dead. Because if
that makes sense now.
Taiju's not with him, then I think the idea is that Tsukasa is supposed to assume that he's dead. But I mean, Tsukasa knew that Taiju also knew Senku's nitric acid trick to revive people, right? I don't know. To me, it felt weird. I was like, why would he just take them in? Where did that come from? I don't know.
He told them when Tsukasa was holding Yuzuriha hostage or whatever to save her.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's when they left, when he's like, oh, I might not see you for 6 months or a year. And they did that whole salute with the flag of science or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the backstory of that. But
so I mean, as far as the characters go, I already talked about a few of them. The blacksmith guy is really just hilarious. Love him a lot.
Blacksmith, Chrome, Kinro, those are all good boys.
Ginro, yeah, I mean, Kinro, like, everybody has like a very distinct personality in the show. I mean, Kohaku's like the tomboy, and Ginro and Kinro are both guards, but they both have their own distinct personalities. And there's like Suika, the cute little girl, and there's what's the big strong guy's name who's kind of a dick till the end? Magma has his own sort of deal going on, his own personality. The characters are very like they're very individualistic and memorable in my opinion. So, and like them or hate them. Tsukasa is the least likable character, but I don't know that we're really supposed to like him because he's the villain, right? But
yeah, but there's still villains that I like. Like, even if they're horrible people, Hisoka. But not Gen, sorry. I don't know. I just felt like he's too unbelievable, and it's like this site. I don't know.
Just fun fact, Suika, the watermelon girl, Suika is literally just Japanese for watermelon.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And Kohaku is gorilla. It really isn't, but that was just a joke.
Oh, I never knew that.
Gen was my favorite. I like Gen a lot.
Yeah, Gen I thought was gonna be like way smarmier and like double crossing and just like be a hassle for them. And you guys know I can't stand characters who just like impede others and get in the way and just like, but no, he was good. He was smart. He instantly like assessed situations. And he was clever, and I was expecting to not like him, and he was a joy to watch.
Yeah, he is my favorite.
Okay.
And I'm happy now that he's like part of the main cast and didn't just like wander away after.
It wasn't a one-time thing.
Yeah.
Well, I think Gen is a smart guy, and I think he's kind of placed his bets, at this point, and he recognizes that they're able to recreate all these things that are gonna give Senku a huge edge in the battle to come or whatever, and besides, like, Tsukasa's living in like caves, and they have like crappy food, and I think Gen even pointed that out, and it's like here's Senku making electricity, and they're eating like literally eating cotton candy and shit. Like, why, like, why would, like, he made his choice, he put his bets on the roulette board, so, and he chose smartness and comfy,
and he won his cola.
And he got his cola.
As Captain Avatar in the chat reminds me.
Aw.
He won big. Cash out.
Everyone, send your colas again, please.
So, let's see here. What else? So, the art and animation. Do you want to move on to the next section here?
Yeah, I think so.
The art animation. I think the character designs are really interesting. Senku looks really distinct as a character. The hair, the lines on the face. And first I didn't really like his hair, and then it kind of grew on me. At first I thought he looked like a leek, like a giant leek.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Absolutely. And I wouldn't. And
I was like, he reminds me like an onion.
Yeah, he's like an onion. Like, I mean, he just looks like a green onion. And there's no way to get around it. And I wouldn't be surprised at all if the artist was like, oh yeah, totally, that's what I was going for. But
what is now?
the thing that gets me is like the female characters' designs look very. The modeling is bizarre.
Aliens. They're all alien.
It's bizarre.
They're not like. They're just wide. They're not like Hidamari's sketch wide, but they just look odd, and it's the same way in the manga. Like they just look like they were drawn with a different intent, and I think we'll touch on this later. And honestly, the manga has a very distinct art style, and the anime did a very good job of capturing that, I thought. It didn't animate well, but it didn't have to. It just really had to hit the punchy. It's very much a moving manga-esque look to it, and it worked with that. But
the modeling, the modeling though, I mean, they do their eyes are really wide apart, and it looks strange. But there are scenes where they don't look so odd. Like, it's almost like they couldn't decide how far apart they wanted their eyes to be, and they just change like on the regular.
Yeah, that was another thing that I was thinking about. Why, I don't know, towards the village arc, it started losing me, because in the very beginning I was like, this looks really solid. Then I don't know, it seems like the farther you got into the village arc, the off models started becoming, I don't know.
The farther you get into the village arc, the farther apart their eyes move. God, but it was, maybe it was just me, but I didn't see it with the guys. Like I
No,
thought
no,
it was really
it-
just the females that just
it
were a
was.
different species,
It was just the
and
girls.
it was just odd. I also
I
couldn't
agree.
understand why they wore the shoes that they did, like the villagers, but that's a different story. But it wasn't just like the girls, like the eyes, like just they were always drawn with these weird poses, with these. I know it's shonen, but these outfits that were just so different than what I. It just felt wrong watching, and especially in Tsukasa, where they had like literal like stables of women, just like for implied they're there for their bodies for these strong men to be around. Like it was just not a good look, and that, I'm probably spoiling some points, but like this whole hey, we're gonna
We're
have
in
a tournament
spoilers. You're
arc.
fine.
What's well, I guess I'm stealing points from you, but what's the prize for winning the tournament? The bride. Like it's just I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I can't really defend having girls in cages, because it's obvious, but they are like cavemen, So in regards to like the tournament, I mean, it is like their
Agreed.
tribal tradition. So at least she's not in a cage, and most of that section of the show is about trying to save her. So
True,
I mean,
and you could definitely make that historical point to it, but I think had they paired Senku's scientific advancement with the cultural advancement of hey, let's make progress and treat people a little more evenly, that would have been like, hey, no, as much as we're succeeding in this road, we're also succeeding in being good people. That would have been perhaps a little more beneficial, but even in the manga, there's just this is how they're drawn. This is how they look, and usually Hara gets way more. They just you can tell Boichi just spent more time on those models, and it's like, no, can you blame an anime for adapting a manga that well? I say yes. I think it was just a bad look, and I didn't like it then. I don't like it now. It's just not my aesthetic. It's a little distasteful in my mind, and it soured my enjoyment.
I can't really defend all of these things, but going back to the tournament, at that point in the anime, Senku was still an outsider and was definitely picking his battles of even trying to like win these people over. So
Absolutely.
it might have been a little much to be like, I am now your leader, and now I am going to change all of your, because culture is a difficult thing to change in reality, and so like, maybe it's a bit of battle picking, where it's like, we can't change everything about them at the same time, but I can't, I'm not going to try to defend everything that you've mentioned, but that one point I might, cast my dice on that one. But I see your point.
I can understand all sides. I just didn't play to my liking, and that was my point.
How about the music?
I think it would. Oh, never mind.
No, go ahead.
Oh no, it wasn't important. I was just gonna say. I think Mason actually already said it, that it would have sat a lot better if they addressed it vocally. I don't know, but I understand what Mason's saying. Like, I was saying address it vocally. Like if Senku, after he became leader, was like, hey, guys, why don't we get rid of this patriarchal society or like, system? I don't know.
And who knows? Season 2, they've got time to do it, but
Yeah.
I think it stems from a deeper, I'm not going to say the word, a deeper
Aesthetic?
design choice that they had put in from day zero of the manga that kept on going. But I didn't listen to the soundtrack a whole lot. I thought
the music is really good.
I wasn't blown away by it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought I
Specifically
thought the second ending theme was awesome. It's the opening and ending theme songs I thought were really good, and it's been a while since I actually like took the time to pull up a like anime theme song that I'd recently listened to in the car. I'm more likely to like type in 1990s anime opening playlist and just like let YouTube roll through like 100 songs. But like it's been a while since I specifically typed in the song like Dr. Stone ending 2 and put it on in the shower, and that happened a few times. So I don't know, something about that song was just kind of very catchy for me. But I honestly can't even recall the music from in the show itself. So,
I was gonna say I should be honest. This was such an easy watch that I marathoned this, and I didn't watch a single opening or ending. So I was only
Oh.
talking about the
Oh,
you missed
soundtrack
out,
to
I
the
think.
well, I didn't want to be spoiled to like what they would create because I
The
figured they
fir-
would show like flashes of like the stuff that he was making.
Yeah.
oh, gotcha. I understand. No, I thought the first OP was really good. I can't remember what the second OP was though. I don't think that one didn't hit me nearly as much because now I can't even remember what it sounded like.
It's the one where he does the Rocky pose at the end, where he kind of punches up into the air. But that's
Oh yeah. But no, I thought the music overall in the series is pretty good. I don't know who did it though. I don't remember who the music composer
one was by Pelican Fan Club, and the ending.
Yeah, that
theme-
was the OP. Yeah.
Yeah, and the ending theme that I like is by by a single guy. I can't remember his name.
And
But it's
maybe
really-
that's
but it's
just
really good.
because I should have gone back and watched the OPs and EDs, but like the main soundtrack to the show, I guess when compared to Fire Force and My Hero Academia, I thought, spoilers, that this was the weakest of the trio. But we'll get to that next week.
Tatsuya Kato is the music composer.
You guys want to
don't know what
make
he's done
any final
He
comments?
did Free. He did the music in Free. That's my final comment.
Yeah.
That's your final comment?
Yeah.
No, I have no more final comments. I'm ready to score. Mandy?
Yeah, I'm good. Nope, I'm good. I was just looking at all the other stuff that he's done.
Well, you've been going first, Mason, the whole time. So why don't you go ahead?
I will. Yeah, I'll go first. End of the day, this show succeeded. It had a lot of momentum. It was an easy watch. I've said it 1,000 times. It had enough touching moments that it gave me a little more depth. It could have been way more shallow with, hey, this episode we're making this. Next episode we're making this. Like, it gave a little more personality to people that I liked. It avoided some pitfalls that could have hurt my enjoyment. I wouldn't put it on my personal top 10 of the year, but I felt like it failed more just to match what I was looking for in a show than it like failed what it was going for. I feel like it hit its targets. I just didn't care about those targets as much.
Okay.
I'm not disappointed where it ended. Like, it ended, right before a big climax, but I felt like we still got the closure that we needed, and it gave me hype. And I will definitely check out the confirmed season 2. When that comes out, I'll give it a shot. At the end of the day, imparting the goodwill that I have on the creators for complimenting my T-shirt when they signed my manga, factoring that into account, I'm going to give this a very strong 3 out of 5. This was a refreshing addition to shonen, and I think is good to have, and it had a lot of good messages. There was just enough single point of problematic moments that I just I can't like throw my full weight behind. So 3. I didn't think of a clever, whatever the third number on the periodic table is out of 5.
Let me look it up.
It's not nitrogen. I think that's...
It's not nitric acid. It is. Oh man, come on.
If I was smart, if I knew chemistry, I'm a physics boy. That's why I didn't like this show. I'm all about physics and heat transfer. I don't know my chemistry that well.
While Mandy looks that up, I'll go ahead and give mine. So for me, my girlfriend and I watched this and Vinland
Lithium.
Saga. Lithium.
Hell yeah.
Never would have guessed that.
Lithium. Oh, wait a second. Go ahead.
We both watched this together, mostly in bingey format and chunky bingey, like maybe like 5, over the course of a couple weeks. And shockingly, we both enjoyed this more than Vinland Saga. I don't know if I'd say it was like a better written show or whatever, but as far as just like the sheer enjoyment level, I think we both enjoyed this one a little more. And the show is it was just entertaining from start to finish. We didn't even talk about the section where they go to like the sulfuric acid lake and put on like makeshift gas masks. And I mean, gosh, like this show just hit me in a spot that I haven't been hitting in a while. And it like watching Fire Force back to back with this was almost like a joke. Like, it's just like they're an ocean apart. And in terms of at least the enjoyment level for me. And I don't know. I just loved every single episode. The theme songs were good. The characters were great, and it ended just in like that cliffhanger spot where I just can't freaking wait to see what's going to happen next. And unlike a lot of other shonen shows, I can't honestly say I know what's going to happen. I don't know how it's going to move from where it is at the moment. I can make guesses, but I'd be just doing just that. Dr. Stone was awesome. I'm giving it I'm gonna give it.
You gave Vinland Saga a 5.
Yeah, I'm giving it 5 turns of the water wheel. 5 levels up of hydroelectric power out of 5, because they went from like hand churning like cranks to to all the way to having pistons that were turned by the water wheel. So I'm giving it 5 levels of hydroelectric out of 5.
The first ever boron out of boron review in the history of the AAA podcast.
I don't know what that means, but
that's
yes,
that's atomic number 5.
Oh, okay. All right,
not
Mandy.
to be confused with the Mambo number 5.
Oh, geez.
Oh no.
You're welcome.
Didn't see that coming.
Stuck in your head.
Yeah, thanks, Mason. I think I'm exactly where Mason is. I don't know. I enjoy parts of it. I think the village arc started to lose me, and I don't know, the Tsukasa. I don't know why I was. Never mind. I was trying. I almost said the what was her name in Attack on Titan? Is it Tsukasa?
Mikasa.
Mikasa. Tsukasa. Look.
Oh, Mason liked that one. Shit. Oh, Mikasa Tsukasa. Ooh.
Dude, you just got back from Mexico. You gotta love that. That was topical.
Oh man.
I'm sorry.
Goodness.
Tsukasa didn't sit well with me, but overall I thought it was enjoyable. I liked the art style at the beginning, but I felt like it started to get a bit wonky later on. Again, like Mason said, pretty much all of my points are exactly what Mason said, because we kind of hit the same. I don't know. We were on the exact same level on this one. So I'd give it a solid lithium out of lithium.
Lithium
out of boron. Lithium out of boron.
Cokes for Gen. Please give him.
Give him
Sorry,
more
go
cokes.
ahead. People are just gonna be like, "Oh, you guys don't know chemistry. That's why you didn't like the show." And you're not wrong, but that.
I don't know a damn thing about chemistry, but I still liked it. So that theory's out.
Mandy, what did our listeners think?
Oh, yeah. So our listener score, 28.1% gave it a 5, 56.3% gave it a 4,
Damn.
12.5% gave it a 3, and just 3.1% gave it a 1. So
Whoa.
the average was a 4. But
All
we
right.
had loads of comments, more than we usually get. Like, whenever we do Shonen, we get a big turnout for listener score and comments.
Well, it is shonen. You want to read a few of them?
Sure. I'm skipping over the anonymous ones. A lot of people put in anonymous ones. That's fine. I put them on the list, but if you would like us to read yours, please put in your name. But Amphi75 says, this show has become one of my favorites. I fell in love with the characters, especially Senku and Chrome. As a good food scientist, I was especially excited about the ramen episode. I hope this show inspires many to get excited about the power of science.
Kyman Parker writes, definitely a unique take on the typical shonen genre. It was nice having something different to mix up the typical tropes of shonen shows up with. It also has so many interesting characters and contrasting ideals that it makes the one watching question what the new way to shape humanity should be. I'm with Mitz.
Stephen Hall wrote, Dr. Stone was such a fun show, great action, compelling characters, and the story draws you in. I'm 10 billion% ready for more. I love that, 10 billion%. What is it? Hyaku-oku? Hyaku-oku. Yeah. But that's a number. That's a number you don't hear often.
God.
Anyway.
They're counting with 4 digits. Messes me up every time. And with that, I think that's it. We have been going for quite a long time, but I think this was a fun episode. At least I had fun.
I did.
Mandy, quote of the episode.
Oh, yeah. Crushed
that
it.
Was golden. Fadeaway shot at the buzzer. Putting us all to shame. Thank you, Yuri, for all the adorable drops with the cats. as always, you can find us at aapodcast.com, where you can create an account to hear our hobby addict episodes or after party episodes in the hentai episode that we are about to do. And I think this one's going to be a doozy. I think this is going to be a real fun one.
I had a good hentai, guys.
It was full of singing and all sorts of debauchery. iTunes, give us a 5-star review. We've proven it doesn't have to be a full paragraph. It takes 2 seconds out of your day, and we will love you for at least forever. Facebook, Discord, you all know the drill. Come to Twitch, see us live, and that will do it, my friends. Mandi, Mitz, anything else? Are we good to go?
Negative.
We're good to go. You can come find me on Twitter at AA_Mandi with an I. Ferret.
I am at
Power.
Pope Mitsugi. See you guys next week.
Have a good one, everyone.
guys.
Thanks
Bye-bye.
so much for hanging out.
Have a good week.